It's Friday, October 3rd, 2025. Let's start off, as we typically do, by letting you know that if you'd like to support our show, you can go to supportourshow.com and click on a button you will find on that page. I do have a bit of a programming note. I think I had said that the next late night was going to be Doug and I talking about a pair of David Lynch films, but that's moving back a month. And instead, the November late night is going to be an interview with Robin Ogden, who goes by the musician name of Ogre, who does our end theme for this show, the main show, and the theme in its entirety, because I just basically cut it in half, for the late nights themselves. A word of advice to anybody who ever does any podcasts, as I keep learning this lesson over and over every so often.
Don't do them. The
person on the other end, not if you want any money. Don't do them for money. Yes. If the person on the other end offers to record their side for you, even if you're sure you won't need it, say yes. Like Ray when he's asked if he's a god. You say yes. I made the mistake of saying, no, I shouldn't need it.
Oh,
and of course, Zoom was free. I should have known because it was overseas. It was international. He's in Britain. I'm here. And I should have known. And he's in the country in Britain. I should have known that it would have been
You got to Batman that shit.
Yeah. So I will be doing some creative editing. Fortunately, the freezes never lasted that long. The important parts of what he was saying were always there. But there will be some. You're going to notice that there's going to be some editing to that I typically don't do. So just a word of advice. And still, it was a great show. He did it with a cold, so I didn't,
Did he froze? Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's kind of, there was a lag. So he would just cut out for about 15 seconds.
Just the visuals, though, not the audio.
No, the audio, too. It all, I thought Zoom would capture the audio from his end, and it didn't. Yeah. At least I don't think it did unless it caught up. So
that sucks.
Now, again, fortunately, it was never enough that there was a huge problem where I had to, re-ask a question or restate it. But it's not as smooth as... Normally, I don't do any editing. I just let people talk unless they have a reason to have something edited, like they sneeze or something. Otherwise, I don't edit anything, and this one I'm going to have to cut those gaps out. Otherwise, you're just going to hear nothing for 10 seconds, and then the audio cuts back in. So that's my fault. He said, if you want me to record. But I felt bad because he was fighting a cold, and he still wanted to do the show. And I said, we can just push this back. I don't want you to do it if you're... But he was excited to do it. So I'm like, all right. And I didn't want him to have to do anything else. So I was like, no, don't bother. It should be fine. And, it's like, say that out loud, and it's, whatever, breaking a mirror or stepping on a crack or going under a ladder or having a black cat cross in front of you, whatever bullshit you believe.
Or telling the gods to go fuck themselves. Yeah, they don't like that.
Yeah, that type of thing, whatever. So there'll be a little bit of editing in that one. It'll still be, it's still largely usable. Like I said, it would be in a 90-minute or so show, it may have been 5 minutes, maybe.
You could have taken those gaps and just put samples of his music in there.
No, we play the tracks. We already do that. Okay. And then he talks about that. So, no, I can't because we already... Okay. I can't play his whole album. Yeah. I want people to buy it because it's very good. So, no, that's the irony, is we played the tracks. And the thing is, it didn't. It only happened a few times. It may have happened 6 times total. And so when it didn't happen again for a while, I thought, oh, okay, maybe there's just a little bit of instability. And I kept thinking that because it didn't seem to be happening enough that I thought there was a real problem. And the other funny part is I would guess. Oh, and I fucked up my video because So on the video portion, my dog is me for the first about 28 minutes. I just have my dog's picture there because I changed a setting because I
Oh, so there was just a photo.
Yeah, it's just a photo of my dog.
Oh yeah,
with my name.
You didn't become a furry or something, yeah.
No, nothing. No, I didn't do anything like that. But what happened was, I did notice that he was very blurry, and I thought it was because I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we're doing this overseas, so let me cut my resolution in half so that there's not as much data being pushed across. Because honestly, it's not that big a deal. So I cut my resolution in half while Zoom was running,
and instead made the dog.
It turned the camera off. It didn't just adjust. It turned the camera off, and I didn't notice it for about 30 minutes because I don't pay it. I'm paying attention to him, not the mirror video or whatever you want to call it. So I didn't see it. And he said, yeah, I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, no, you could have said something because there was video at first. But he didn't know if that was something intentional. So, yes, for the first 28 or so minutes, there's going to be a picture of my dog on the video if you watch the video version.
He had some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, fortunately, it was never to the point where it derailed anything, or I would have said, all right, we have to redo this because we're losing way too much of it. The essence is all there, and it didn't, but it was really annoying to me because, number one, I should have said, yeah, go ahead and record it because as a musician, it's easy for him. I especially don't like asking people who don't do all this type of stuff to do anything extra on their end.
But
he's in a room with mics and music equipment, and you'll see there's multiple keyboards in the frame. He could have just done it easily, but because he was sick, I already kind of felt bad that he was doing it at all, so I didn't want to ask him to do anything else. And then the video thing was just a pure fuck up on my end because I just didn't notice it because, and I guess I take this as sort of a positive, I don't look at myself in the video very often, so I didn't even notice it. I was paying attention to him in the video, listening to him, as opposed to making sure that I was lit properly and making duck lips every 15 seconds or whatever the hell you're supposed to do now. So I didn't notice it. And then there was a point where I was wildly gesticulating, and I'm like, why am I not noticing that annoyance where I see myself making a lot of hand gestures on video?
Because you're a dog.
Well, yeah, now I am. So, hey, whatever. My dog takes good pictures. So, as I said, I think in my intro, it's a better dog to look at than me. So, anyway, it'll be out in November. So that's a slight adjustment. So Doug and I will do the December late night will be Lost Highway and Inland Empire. So anyway, that's the programming notes. Although it does give me an excuse to get I'm going to try to do like a Batman transition, like the old Adam West thing when I have to do those edits where I'm kind of jumping, where it's like, and it'll like spin up our logo and then go away. So that's kind of an excuse to do something new. That's fun. And I had a good time animating the Lost Highway intro to the late night for that, so that was good too. I get these little fun video editing things I get to do.
Yeah, I get it.
I just wish they weren't out of annoyance in some cases. But.
Well, listen, sometimes good art comes from having to fix problems. That's usually where a lot of good art comes from. Yeah,
there are moments where adversity gives birth to a creative solution, so I suppose that's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. I'm sure there's a number of movies where that's been a thing, where it's like,
oh sure,
it's something that's now iconic, but you realize at the time it was like done as a fucking, just easy fix.
Well, Jaws is the most famous one.
Oh yeah, because the shark was always broken. Yes, they had to use the music and the anticipation.
Right, and that ended up being the strength of the movie, as opposed to their original plan, which was to have you see it every 15 seconds. So.
Well, didn't he say? Well, we paid that much for it. We wanted to use it.
Well, yeah. I mean, talk about paying a bunch for. There's the lemon law. Where is it? That somebody who built that shark and it could never work. Although I imagine seawater is tough to make.
Well, they'd never tested it in salt water.
Or salt water, not sea. Well, same thing. Yeah, salt water. Yeah, salt's a bitch.
And salt water is horribly corrosive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it only worked.
So anyway,
it mainly worked in the final fight on the boat, and even then, I mean, there's something so,
Yeah, I mean, it never looks like a real shark, really.
No, it doesn't. But there is something demonically robotic about it. And I think it's more
Yes.
scary. The idea of that this thing is just a literal killing machine. You know, it's like an ocean Terminator.
Right.
Right.
No, I agree. I agree. There is something that's because let's be honest, it's not like you ever really believe that's a real shark anyway. I mean,
no,
it's immense.
but you're suspending your disbelief. You know what I mean? Like
right.
that's what
But that actually kind of makes it work better. Is more of this thing that shouldn't exist. But
I'm surprised they haven't rebooted it. Not that I want them to. I
really am too. I'm
surprised.
I mean,
they've
done other big shark movies, but I think. That may be one of the rare examples of where everybody agrees you can't possibly do it better.
Well, because the thing with Jaws is that Jaws isn't strictly a horror movie. It's not about
that's the
thing.
Not
about people dying. It's basically about this sheriff and the thing he goes through to kind of protect his town and the struggles.
Yeah.
I mean, because Brody is always the lead in this. I mean, he's got people around him, but Brody is always the lead, and it's really his story. And yes, there's this shark and this little shit, but like, the shark is not his only problem. Brody is dealing with the townspeople. He's dealing with the mayor. There's so many other elements. What's funny is that for a while there, you know, the shark isn't his biggest problem. I mean, the shark is always the looming problem. So to remake it, I don't think anybody has the kid gloves to remake this and not try to push it into either a horror movie or be like, I'm going to make it more gratuitous. I think that it's got such a light hand to it. I don't think you can remake it without making it different. Really different.
I do feel like too, it's one of those few movies where I think that nobody wants to mess with it. I think there is a recognition that you can't.
Give it like 20
better.
Give it 20 years. Give it 20 years, and somebody will be like, "I can make that better."
You'll get
one of these. You'll get one of these directors who has like a one word name. You know, his name will be like Purity or something. And Purity will be like, I can remake this and it'll be amazing, you know, and they'll do all kinds of things.
I mean, Gus Van Sant tried that stupid Psycho thing, which was always a bad idea. It blew up.
The shot for shot, you know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was the nail in the coffin. Maybe that's the thing, is they realized, okay.
I still don't understand why they did that.
You know,
did he just want to prove that he could direct as well as Hitchcock? Like, is that what it is?
No. I remember him giving some kind of protracted, nonsensical bullshit reason, which, you know, I came down to this idea of, it was some kind of restatement of, well, I wanted to remind people of the power of it by recreating it exactly, which made no sense.
Well, then just see the original. Just pay to re-release the original. You know what? If I had to guess, if I had to really guess, I think he just really was into Vince Vaughn and wanted to put him into that role. It feels like a fetish film somehow. You know what? I agree with you. It does feel like a fetish film. I don't know what the fetish is, but it does feel like a fetish film.
Yeah, I don't either. But there's no other reason you would do something like
that. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in our lifetime they remake the original Star Wars movies. They remake them like shot for shot with modern special effects, like new actors, but the same exact script. And they do it because I think they'll do it because they think they're gonna make money, but they'll do it because young people don't want to watch the originals because they feel that they look old.
Interestingly, I agree with you sort of. I'm not saying
it's a good thing. I'm just saying that
no. Disney likes to remake things in a different format than the original, so they can keep making money on it.
Oh wait, so they're going to do the opposite? Like they're making the Disney movies live, the princess movies live, so they'll make an animated version of the originals?
I could see them. I could actually see them making, having a Japanese anime studio do what they did with like the manga adaptations that everybody likes.
What was the show? What was that called?
Well, Visions is the thing.
Visions, that's what it's called. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And most people regard that as the best of the new stuff.
Is a lot of fun. Yeah,
it's great, and that's why I'm saying I think that's the cue they'll take. Is okay, we've taken our animated stuff and made it live. Let's take the live stuff and animate it. And why not make it in whatever animation studio from Japan, so it has that kind of a better quality than typical American animation, because even Disney doesn't do hand drawn anymore, and do it that way. I can see them doing that. And honestly, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I think that's actually a great idea. I would love to see them take the core story and put the flourishes of a different animation interpretation on it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
what's his name? Like is it Jiggly? What's it? Is it
Ghibli.
Ghibli,
not
Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Yeah. To
Ghibli's
do like a Ghibli
movie.
version of
Ghibli,
it.
Studio Ghibli. Yeah.
Yes,
Why
do
not?
a Ghibli version.
Yeah. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that
I would probably watch it if they got someone to do a stylized don't change the story, just do a stylized visualization of it, right?
Yeah,
keep the story exactly how it is. Well, hey, question: would you keep the dialogue or would you have new actors?
No, you do new actors.
Okay,
you do new actors. Yeah. No, I don't think you keep the same. No, I wouldn't. No, I think that's constraining things because then you can't. I wouldn't change the wording too much. I would keep the writing the same by and large.
But you mean create some flexibility.
Yeah. So maybe you don't have incest in the first episode. That's right. I'm saying there's ways there's small tweaks that could improve the original story. But
which is funny because like I know that there are perverts out there that are like, oh my god, he kissed his sister, but like I always thought that was like that's like a 50s joke where it's like, you kissed your sister, ha ha ha. You know what I mean? Like there's like an adolescent broy humor to that I think kind of shows like a different side of George Lucas.
There would be if that was actually, if you knew that he had the plan all along, which he has said he has not. He did not know what he was doing with those characters. When they did that first movie, I thought
I always thought he had some concept.
Well, he did. He had from what I understand of his original notes, and of course now over time all these things change. But in the original notes, the idea was it was just going to be Luke was Vader's son. That was it, one child. And so the princess was like, it was supposed to be kind of a love triangle. And then they got to a certain point, and I think it was probably when they saw the movie, they're like, there is no way that she would choose Mark Hamill over Harrison Ford. Look at these people. And it was like, okay. How do we
They went to test audiences, and who would you rather fuck? And they were like, Han Solo.
Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's the easy answer. I'm sorry, Mark Hamill. You're certainly not an ugly man by any stretch.
But Han Solo is the coolness in that movie.
Right. It's like
honestly, if you took a survey, women would probably want to go Han Solo, Chewbacca, then Luke Skywalker.
Or C-3PO, and then...
and then Darth Vader, don't forget him. And then once
sure.
Was it Lando Calrissian shows up, it's all bets are off.
And see, that is the more interesting triangle, is if they had really messed with that. Because Lando is Harrison Ford, Billy D. Williams, and Carrie Fisher.
Oh, if she'd been smitten with Lando.
Right? Well, I mean, because Lando and Han are pretty close as far as what they are. They both are. Yeah, Lando
even flies the Millennium Falcon.
That's what man. Yeah. I watched that goddamn end scene again the other day, and I'm just sitting here going, they're never, ever, ever, ever going to make a better space scene than this. They're just not. And it is great that he's in it.
And that's the thing, is that it's not even Han Solo and the Falcon.
No, it's great. The best Millennium Falcon sequence. Well, I mean, I guess you could tie it with the asteroid field, although I really don't think it's a tie.
Oh, no. I know. I honestly, I find that with the asteroid field, I get bored. I get a little bored with the asteroid field. I feel like it goes on
the asteroid field. The music does a lot of heavy lifting. There's really good music in that.
I mean, it is hilarious that he lures them into an asteroid field.
Into a giant worm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, as far as like a ship sequence, I think that the Death Star run is.
The end of Jedi is unparalleled. I've never seen anything that's anywhere like it. And every time
I'll tell you what,
like, is it as good as I think? I watch it, I'm like, yeah, it's as good as I think.
When Picard, when the last season of Picard did the cube run with the old Enterprise, I was like, somebody watched Jedi.
Somebody watched it.
I was you know what? Let's do some Star Wars shit here.
But there again, it's a perfect. You bring that up. It's a perfect comparison piece to demonstrate why they still haven't got CG ships figured out, because they still don't have the movement right. They're still too weightless when it's CG.
You especially get that with the Enterprise because it's an awkward vessel.
Yeah, and the thing is, I really do believe it's because they don't understand that you have to have imperfection in the movement to sell the reality.
Well, yeah,
The thing is, when you watch the Death Star 2 run, those ships don't move fluidly sometimes. They kind of lumber here and
ratchet.
there.
There's a little bit of ratchet and torque and
And I know that people will say, like, you'll have your Neil deGrasse Tyson like, well, there's no inertia in space. They shouldn't. I understand that, but people can't relate to space that way because we're not astronauts. So what we expect for reality is the inertia. We see the weight. We want that kind of slight ruddery movement.
J.J. Abrams said that when he did the Calvinverse Star Trek movies, right? One of the things he really wanted, and I'll give him credit for this, is he wanted there to be a weight to the Enterprise. He just did that by fucking having it, built on planet Earth, which just seems, ridiculous. Because ship like that, the amount of fucking force it would take to launch a ship like that in orbit, into orbit, would be incredible.
Yeah. Also, his idea of adding weight to the ship was to make it fat. And I'm not into fat shaming, but that ship is fucking fat.
Don't like I know you don't like the design, but overall,
I hate the design.
The way the ships in general move in J.J. Abrams' run of Star Trek,
part's fine.
There is more of a weight to it.
Yes. No, it's fine.
And you kind of you almost have to prescribe that to the special effects house that was doing it. Different people.
Sure. Yeah. Well. Yeah. No. I agree.
Differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
listen, Picard. There is going to be a difference between a TV special effects house and a J.J. Abrams big movie, special effects house. So. Yeah. But even still, going back to the original idea, the cube run in Picard is an homage of sorts to the fucking.
Oh, it is.
Falcon run in Death Star.
It's not bad. It's fine. But again,
I enjoy it.
It's just when you look at the two of them next to each other, then you see the difference.
No, but listen, fine. Star Trek and Star Wars are so different in so many different ways, and they do different things.
No, I agree.
But it's fun.
These are these are one-to-one comparisons because, as you said, it's very obvious they're trying to do that. So you do have to draw that comparison. Yeah. But I like Picard season 3. I did a whole review with I did a whole show on it because that was good. It's a nostalgia run, but it's a good one. It's certainly better than the first two goddamn awful seasons. So I don't have any issue with it.
And I skipped those two, and I have no regret looking back.
So. You missed nothing. You missed nothing. The third season didn't even bother to address the other two, really, outside of a couple of mentions here and there, but they didn't even bother to go back into it. I
did just watch the first holodeck episode of Strange New Worlds. Which, have you watched any of the new season?
No, not yet. I haven't made it to it. I'm going through the whole one.
I thought it was really interestingly done because my daughter, who's kind of out of sorts with the chronology of things, was like, "Don't they already have a holodeck?" And I was like, "No. That was Next Generation, which is in the future, where they do." But what's interesting is they brought the holodeck on, and it basically it's like how there's always like these Ren Fair episodes. It's a Ren Fair episode. They brought it's directed by Frakes, by the way, which. My God, that man is a fucking genius with Star Trek. He is so important at this point to Star Trek because every time he directs, I'm kind of like, oh my God, that was a good episode. But they are Starfleet is thinking about putting these on ships to help people with the stress of long-term space travel. So I was like, you know what? That totally makes sense. And they're testing it on the Enterprise, right? So they've got one person going into it. And they're basically seeing how much power it draws from the ship, and it's all a big test. And the test, of course, doesn't go the way they want, and their opinion is, you know what, these aren't ready for ships. Go back to putting these in. And I like that. I thought that was a very clever way to have a holodeck episode, right?
Yeah.
Before the holodecks were there. But the thing that is fucking genius is that, so in the holodeck fantasy what's her name, the security expert, I can't remember her name. Ortega. No, Ortega, she's the pilot.
No. Sorry. The security one.
Sung, she's a Sung.
She's a Sung, but Sung something or
Lal
Sung.
I think it's Lal Sung. So she's the one that's going in, and for her it's a big 1960s like 70s like detective story, right? And this at the center of it is a a TV show about space travel, right? And what you realize is that in this holodeck episode, they're talking about classic Star Trek because the show has just been canceled at the end of its first season. And so there are all these actors involved, and the actors all are populated by people from the ship, which they explain by basically saying it would take too much power to have the ship, to have the holodeck fully create people. So we're using copies that we have from the transporter buffer. So it's all people from the buffer. But what's hilarious is that in the make-believe show, Kirk from the show is playing the fictional captain of this, this fictional science fiction show, which is very clearly the original Star Trek. And he's even acting like Kirk. Like he's got the stunted pauses and everything like that. It becomes a hilariously well done homage episode. And at the end, they start showing you bloopers from the like during the credits, they show you bloopers from the fake Star Trek show that they made, right? And at one point, I just saw the fact that Frakes directed it. I was like, oh shit, Frakes! And fucking Kirk tries to pull a Riker over the captain's chair and knocks the whole goddamn thing over. And I gotta tell you, even my wife, we all just bust out laughing. It was a good episode, but that was the peak moment for us, is watching Kirk try to pull a Riker. And they knew what they were doing. It's very obvious. Frakes, fucking Riker himself was directing.
Sure.
And they stuck it in during the credits, and it's got to be one of the funniest things I've seen in all of the Strange New Worlds run. And it's an homage to Next Generation and Riker's chair trick. But it was really good. So I was happy with that. Are you waiting till the season's over?
I'm not in a rush because of that. Yes, I don't want to get to a point where I'm waiting. So I am. Yeah. I'm in season 2. I'm just kind of making my way through.
Oh, because you watched them all over again.
Because, I started from the beginning. Yeah. So I started from season 1. And I've just kind of been.
You know what?
Slowly moving through.
I'm still enjoying myself.
And everybody's shitting all over season 3. There's just nothing but complaints, and I'm like,
really?
I've heard this the whole every god. Now you know what though? Every season, everybody whines and complains, so I don't care. Whatever.
Listen, I'll tell you what. The only weird thing in that show is that Spock seems to be like the ladies' man, right? Like,
that's.
But my kids said that to me, and I was like, guys, if you were on a ship for years and you had like nobody else around, right? And you were looking around at who you were going to get involved with, who is single, right? Mm-hmm. Your little ecosystem of single people gets smaller all the time.
Well, I would also tell them that when the show was originally on, the person who got the most response was not Shatner. It was Leonard Nimoy. So they're basing it on the actual response to the character and the actor. That was why Shatner developed such a goddamn monstrous complex for a while, is because he expected that he was going to be the sex symbol, and everybody was into the weird alien nerd.
And instead they were like, no, man, you're kind of creepy. You're like date raping all the aliens. Whereas, Spock was so kind of reserved and so buttoned down, and everyone was like, oh, I wonder what he's like in the bedroom. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But no, I feel bad about that. I've enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's still fun. It's probably one of the most fun. I mean, after Lower Decks, of course, it is. Sure. It's still fun. So I hate that people are reviewing it poorly because I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, there's an episode
it's the same
with
people who always complain. So
there's an episode with plant zombies. I mean, how fun is that shit? Like, I feel like they're having a lot more fun with their writing this season. So, whatever. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Complain the whole time.
Yeah. Unless they monumentally fuck it up somehow, but I mean, they haven't as of yet. I'm not gonna say they can't.
Yeah, of course they always could. But they have an end date. We'll see.
Oh, are they done?
No. They're gonna have. I think it's season 4 is going to be normal, and then they're going to have 6 episodes for 5, and then it's done.
Oh, wow. So are they Are they moving on to actual Kirk on the Enterprise? Are they done?
They haven't said anything.
Oh,
Yeah, here
wow.
it is. Paramount Plus announced Strange New Worlds will officially conclude with a fifth and final season, which will head into development after currently filming season 4 is finished.
Because
and
I
the
hate
final
to say
one will be
this,
6 episodes.
but
Six,
if they start back up with the like original crew layout, you know what? I'd watch it.
Well, the next thing after this is Starfleet Academy, which they've already said is getting at least 2 seasons.
Oh,
So I don't
what is
know what happens after that.
interesting? Well, you know what? If
I mean,
no one
Starfleet
responds to
Academy
it,
is exactly what it sounds like. It's I think it takes place. Let me
oh
see.
yeah, what's the
When is it supposed to
chronology?
take
Is this
place?
young Picard?
I'm trying to remember, but they've got good people in it. They've got what's her face, the She-Hulk actress is in it, and then the Doctor from Voyager is in it. But I don't know if he's. I don't think he's playing the Doctor, unless he is. Maybe he's playing the hologram, which would be
maybe
fucking rad.
maybe he's playing the original.
Yeah, it doesn't. You know what? It doesn't specifically say when it takes
Weird.
place. It's just about cadets, but I don't know when it takes place. Did they ever say? Oh wait, here it is. Set in the 32nd century. The far
fuck is
future
that?
time period from Star Trek Discovery. Oh, so it's in that future.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
okay.
That's fine. Holly Hunter's in it too. Look at that. Hey, Tig Notaro, your favorite engineer.
Well,
She's
that's
in it.
because they're bringing everybody over from Discovery.
Oh shit! And what's his face from the Mummy? Oded Ferrer or Fair?
Oh, no, because
Wow,
he's in Discovery.
Oh, is he? I never watched.
Yeah, he's
I
one of the
didn't watch it
future
past,
people, yeah.
3. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's one of
look,
the
they're
future
keeping all
people.
the wind.
Yeah.
What is Robert Picardo doing? He is the holy shit. He's playing the Voyager Doctor. Yeah, I'll watch this.
Well, I guess because
care.
it's in the future, they have a copy of him. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And Paul Giamatti's in it as a part Klingon, part Tellarite. Oh my god. Oh.
you know what?
God.
I hope it's
All
better
right.
than the last season of Discovery.
Well, it sounds like, I don't know this, but the way
Yeah.
they're talking about it, it sounds like they're aiming to do a variation of Lower Decks where it's supposed to be lighter. So I think they're trying to keep that going in live action where it's like, okay, this doesn't have to all be serious world-ending threats. This can be kind of fun again. Sort of what Strange New Worlds is doing, where it's not always the end of the entire universe and all life as we know it. You know?
Sometimes it
So,
can just
we'll
be
see.
a Ren Fair episode.
Yeah, because I mean, they're saying it's skewing younger,
Oh,
but so was Lower Decks. Technically,
Yeah.
they said that was aimed younger because it's animation.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that actually.
yeah. I mean, and the
means
thing is that Lower
anything.
Decks was great because it did new shit, but then it also there was a lot of callbacks to shit that only that big Star Trek
Yeah.
fans would know. Where you were sitting there going, "Oh shit, that's this and that's that," and holy fuck,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, we'll have to see how it looks once it's done.
yeah. So we'll see.
Because you know what? When they first started talking about like Unit 31 as a show,
Yeah. Well, that everybody
as a
agreed that
show,
was the-
not
that
a
was the
movie,
worst
but as a
idea.
show, you were like, well, you know what? I like Michelle Yeoh, and how would they handle this?
No, I
you-
never. I've said this all along. That Section 31 is anything but a pop-up thing here and there to kind of push at the ethics is a bad idea. The more you flesh this thing out, the more it falls apart, which is exactly what's happened. It was this really nice little one-off thing when you didn't even know if it was real, but even if it was a way to say, hey man, just like all of Deep Space Nine was, what happens when the utopia gets a little bit punctured? That the perfect Federation still had this element to it. Because what a lot of people do often ask, and they're right, is the Federation, and Starfleet specifically, technically is the military. And we just kind of ignore it because it's exploration, which, as Ian Malcolm will tell you, is the rape of the natural world. So it's,
but you'll often hear them say, well, we're not meant to be military. We're supposed to be exploratory.
You could say that, but you're still the military.
Yeah, but you still got big guns in the ship.
I mean, that's the thing. So, yeah. We'll see. But no, Section 31 I always thought was a bad idea. Always. Right from the beginning, I've said that all along. The more they talk about it and do it, the worse it is.
I thought as a show, there were ways you could do it.
I don't
So
think it. I don't think it could ever work.
We can
past
disagree.
What it was.
I thought as a show there were ways you could do it, but
Well,
you'd need extremely sly writing to do it.
I will say that I don't think that so far the new Trek has demonstrated that it can do that with the serious stuff as well as it would need
Well,
to.
because I didn't necessarily mind how they used them in season 2 of Discovery. They weren't the lead; they were there, but they were part of the larger story.
Yeah,
And honestly, they were
could have
kind
done
of part of
without
the
it entirely.
problem. Wow.
They were, but I think, in my opinion, they would have been better off never naming them Section 31 and just let you infer that this is what will become
Oh, okay. So
Section 31.
You're fine with them showing up as long as they basically always refer to themselves as
Well,
something else. Because the idea is Section 31 would never tell you that they were Section 31.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It would be more interesting because then you can... The thing that I liked about when Section 31 came into Deep Space Nine is, if you remember, there was a point where they weren't even sure if William Sadler was imagining all of it, that this was like he was hallucinating. They couldn't really tell. That's one of the aspects of the episode is he just lying? Because if everything he's saying is lies, is it all a lie, or is this actually a thing? You didn't really know. And that felt like a correct version of a black ops within a utopia organization. That they would never name what they were. They would always have to be
some other
deniability.
Ship. Yeah, honestly, you know what would? Oh man, see, and that gives me the idea because basically what you have is you'd have to have a Section 31 show would basically have to be a limited series. You'd have a ship, right, with a small ship with a small crew, where they're all basically named and they're normal. They look like normal Starfleet people, right? And towards the end of the show, you start to find out that there's another ship out there with that name that they're trying to stay ahead of the clock of being found out that they're not that other ship. And it isn't until the very end that you realize, oh, wait a minute, these people aren't those people. This is some other ship. They're not those people. And then they just end the show and leave you sitting there going, so were they Section 31? Because the show is called Section 31.
Yes. Well,
You're
see,
like,
and that's, I would never call it Section 31.
So you would go so deep that you'd call it even something else.
I think that's okay.
So
I'm watching the X-Files right now. Me and my wife had just restarted watching the X-Files.
I get it. I just wonder if people would like that level of subterfuge.
Well, I think it's more interesting. So if I was doing it, I would call it Star Trek Prime Directives, right? And at some point in the first couple episodes,
yeah,
the reason you call it Prime Directives is at some point somebody catches one of these people interfering in the development of a civilization because they think it would threaten the Federation, and this person's like, I work for Starfleet. He's like, you can't, because the Prime Directive says that you can't interfere in this. And the guy's response is, that's your Prime Directive, not mine. And then he transports out. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Like that's how you do Section 31. True covert ops never identify. They always have to deny every aspect of their existence or time.
If you did a show about a mission, right, it would have to be a mission where even the audience isn't in on the fact that these people are Section 31.
I would never make the Section 31 people the main characters. It would always be another crew that keeps running into these people. And they think they're stopping the Klingons, and then they find out the Klingons were never involved, that this was a covert operation, some kind of false flag thing. Something like that. And every season is a different thing where you start to piece together that they're trying to do something. What are they trying to do?
And I disagree, because I don't think that you could do a multi-season run. I think that you'd show your hand if you did that. This thing that you're saying you want, I think you need to do it in one season as a miniseries.
Well, I'm fine with that too. But what I'm saying is I think you could do it because you know this, you know history. There are multiple instances in history where the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing, and they both think they're doing the same thing.
Listen, throughout history, The right hand and the left hand don't know what they're doing. They don't know what their dick is doing, nor do they know what their feet are doing.
And honestly, I would take cues from actual history in writing these and adapt them into Star Trek. Because that's what Star Trek always did really well was, okay, we're actually pointing to a real world thing through this metaphorical warping of what it is. So you can do that.
While we're at it, why haven't they done a show with some other species? Why can't we get a fucking Klingon show?
Well, that was Michael Dorn for years campaigned for it. And I think that now, I don't think he's ever said this, but I think you don't have to read too far between the lines to pick it up, is it seemed that they didn't think that people would warm to a show based around an alien character. Just so happens that the alien character was played by a black man. So was the alien character the problem, or did they not want foreigners or minorities as the leads?
Wow.
I mean,
but that's exactly it. Why haven't we never had? Because like the Klingons have a whole history, a whole world. I mean, they take over Deep Space Nine for a while there.
There again, I completely agree because I think
show,
one of the things that makes Worf so good is that he is caught between two different worlds. And neither one really sees them as part of their own anymore. That's what made the character interesting. There was this back and forth, a tug and pull between the Federation and his Klingon background. That's what made the character interesting. I mean, plus he was very funny because they give him punchlines, and he was the most straightforward straight man you could ever have. I mean, that was.
Well, I actually like his evolution into a Zen murderer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, there's your show. That's the show, is what got him to that point. But of course, like I said, I don't think he's ever explicitly said that, but that's how I look at it.
It's always Starfleet, and it's like, well, we've been with Starfleet for so long. Let's see Starfleet from the point of view of somebody else. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want a Vulcan ship because I don't think that would be fun. But like, there's so many species that you could do with not an immense amount of makeup
of course.
work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, I would like to see a Klingon ship.
I mean,
Klingons can be fucking nuts. So
and I think some of what may have hurt that too is they dipped into that a bit with Enterprise. They tried to do a lot of Vulcan stuff. The problem there is the Vulcan character on the actual ship was clearly another attempt at Seven of Nine, where they just wanted to show her bust as much as possible. I mean, they were stripping her down in like the second episode to decontaminate by lathering her up in oil, which is the most transparent fucking, hey, 13-year-olds, here's your boner episode you'll ever see in your life.
Okay.
But they did, if you watched Enterprise, they did try to get into, they sort of did what they could do with Starfleet through the Vulcans, where the Vulcans, who we've always known as these logical, noble people, whether they're devious, they can resort to terrible things, all that, they were kind of poking into the idea of Vulcans. But Enterprise was not well received. They also did a lot with the Andorians. The Andorians were a big species in there where they were trying to mess with that. But the show didn't do well, so I think they backed off that and they ran back home to mama with okay, ship with Picard, ship with Captain, can't do nothing else. And only now are they seeming to step out of that again to some degree. But even Strange New Worlds, I mean, it's another white male captain.
Same thing.
I love him.
You know what?
But
I enjoyed Discovery Season 2, partly because Pike was there. But you know what? Pike was the captain of the Enterprise, because in the end, oh god, what's his name? It's the guy from Abe Sapien. I always forget his fucking name.
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones was the captain, and he was an alien.
I liked Doug Jones in that show a lot.
He was great.
I liked Michael Burnham a lot. I liked Michelle Yeoh a lot. And the problem there is they didn't know what to do. Again, they drove it into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point there in that show where they were fighting off like 20 Starfleet ships, and all hell was breaking loose. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
It feels like Star Trek a lot of the time, but to a slightly lesser degree, has the Star Wars problem, where they can't. Every time they start to get bold about what they're doing, they give up. They run
back to core characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bring Spock in, they bring the Enterprise in. Yeah.
Well, even before the new stuff, you could go back to Voyager and the Borg. They just destroyed the Borg by overusing them. Why did you keep using them? I mean, the finale of Voyager is fighting the Borg Queen again. We did this already. Why do we have another Borg Queen fight? You did First Contact. That's the end.
Whatever.
Just end it.
They brought the Borg Queen back again in Picard.
That's what I'm saying. They can't.
I mean, shit. Wasn't she one of the characters in season 2 of Picard?
I didn't finish. I started season 2 of Picard. I got 2 episodes and I said no. I give up.
Yeah, the Borg Queen. I'm pretty sure is one of the characters in that.
Wouldn't shock me, but it's the same. She's Palpatine. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Just let it go. Do something new.
New villains. Time for some new villains. Well, I thought what they were doing with the oh god, what are they called? I almost called them the Borg because we're talking about the Borg. The fucking lizard people. What the hell are they called?
Oh, the Gorn.
The Gorn. There you go. Jesus, the Gorn.
Yeah, well, it's still 4 letters, and 2 of the letters are the same.
I know. The stuff they
Norg,
did with the Gorn was fun.
The backwards, the Norg.
I mean, they seem to have put that away now for a while because they found a way to kind of put them to bed.
Yeah, that's.
Shall we say?
The Gorn are a problem. I do agree with people who point out that the Gorn. It seems like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too with the Gorn as well, because the whole point of the original Shatner episode with the Gorn was that they were portrayed as these monstrous beings and they weren't. And now Strange New Worlds has made them back into monstrous predators again.
Yeah.
And
they are. They're fucking scary.
And I don't know why why not just invent a new species that's terrifying? Why not? Strange New Worlds does a lot of things well. I like a lot of it. Gorn I don't like. And unfortunately that's the central villain. Now,
so is Star Trek present? So, there's always a Star Trek present and a Star Trek past, right? Is Star Trek present future Discovery?
Star Trek present, future Discovery. No, Star Trek present.
Or is it end of Picard?
No, I guess Star Trek present is whatever the current show is the way I've always interpreted it.
Oh, okay.
Now, that doesn't apply with Strange New Worlds because that's a legacy show in the canon.
Yeah, but like Next Generation
Lower Decks is present because when it was on.
No, fuck, you're right. Because based on the timing of that,
it would have to be
after Next Generation. And
yes, so if you were to say what is the current time, it's whatever the most
Lower
advanced
Decks
show
is
is that's on.
Well, Discover, but isn't Discover Future the most advanced show?
At the end where it goes to the future, yes. So, that will be because Star Trek, Starfleet Academy will now be that future.
Yeah.
So my interpretation, I have no idea if they consider this. I'm sure the showrunners would say, well, there's no one time. There is no present in Star Trek.
No, there is no one time.
It's whenever our imagination takes place.
Okay, fine. It's the whole, for me, Star Trek present is the timeline where they don't have to constantly be trying to make sure that everything fits into the canon, where they can create new canon.
So then it would be Lower Decks while that was on, would be what I would consider to be Star Trek present. And once Starfleet Academy is on, that will be Star Trek present. Because for those characters, they're living in the modern day, and they're not, as far as I understand, they're not going to be always warping around. They're going to, time traveling. They're going to be in that time. Okay. So that's present. That's all.
That's modern canon. Got it. We'll see what happens.
Again, because
I look forward to watching it.
Strange New Worlds is leading up to the original series, and that's very clear. They haven't said it's an alternate timeline, therefore it can't be the present, it's the past. We know it's the past.
Yeah.
It's timey-wimey.
And that's why, and the thing is that they've got to make sure stuff fits. So that's why, they've got the holodeck episode, but it's experimental technology and it has to go away. Remember the holographic viewers that they had to get rid of?
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's what I mean. I want to get to the point where, they aren't just, being forced to try to write their way into the canon, where they can just have fun with whatever current technology they want.
And that's my issue with the Spore Drive. Instead of just making it that it failed, they have to say it's secret. It's secret. It's secret now. It's a secret. How about it failed? It worked for 5 years and then it blew up, and we realized there was a critical flaw that if you tried to use it for more than 5 years, the ship would incinerate.
Is it still working in the future?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter. They don't treat it like it's not. They treat it like a fucking secret, which is stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is, That is the dumbest thing of that to me.
Maybe they treat the spore drive like the Philadelphia experiment, where it's like,
well, okay, if they had done that and not made it some classified secret, they're not allowed to talk about it. Nobody talks about it. It's Fight Club. Yeah, okay, fine. But to me, it's such an easy solution to just say it failed, and that's why nobody uses it. It's not a secret. It doesn't work. It's like cold fusion. It's not that nobody knows what it is. It's known to not work, and so nobody bothers with it. That, by the way, if you do that, it opens the door that if you want to revisit it, somebody gets it to work by making it a top secret. Okay, now it has to be that Section 31 are the only ones who can develop it. I don't like it. It's dumb. It's lazy storytelling.
It is lazy, probably because they only had so much fucking brain power to write certain scripts, and they were like, we need a quick fix for this so we can just keep going.
Yeah, but if I can think of it, if I can think of a more elegant way, then you're in trouble, everybody.
But they are in trouble. There's plenty of stuff that we watch where we spot it, and whoever wrote the goddamn movie show didn't.
Well.
So, hey, listen, man, common sense is not common. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I always wonder with these things.
You and I both
if it's
suffer
the
from
writers
this.
Or the studio. I really do wonder where that
probably a little bit of both.
Maybe a lot more on one side than the other. Because I have a feeling that the writers were sitting here going, this doesn't make sense.
Well, listen, and the thing is, a script can be written, right? And then it goes to, it goes on set, and then they can do rewrites on set with other writers. They can sit there and say, that's not going to work, that's too expensive, I don't like the way this is being delivered. Or they can have an actor ad-lib lines, and the director go, I like this more. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. basically makes shit up half the time. So
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, the process of a script being recorded to screen, there's so much that can change, and some is good, and some is bad. But
that was an accident. I did not mean to click that. I hit the keyboard shortcut by accident when I was typing. Sorry.
No, I think it works perfectly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, but you and I often sit there and sit there and go, why didn't they do this? Why do this? There's so many other creative options to this. And it's like, yeah, but we're looking at it from a different position, and we didn't have the same. We don't know what the situation was. We don't know what limitations they had. True. We don't know what. We don't know if they were creative enough. Hey, why do they keep taking award-winning, amazing novels and then having some hack writer show up and go, I can fix this and make it better, and then they fucking ruin it, and you sit there and go, what was the problem with the original? You bought the original. You had the story. Yeah. You could have just done it. It was good. Like, no, they made it, quote-unquote, fucking better. And then I mean, I'll use Altered Carbon, but Altered Carbon, what was the problem with the envoys? What was the problem with just keeping it like that? They changed it in such a ham-handed way, and you sit there and go, did you gain much from this? I feel like you lost more than you gained. So, anyway, we always do this. And,
I know.
So, we will just have to see what happens.
Well, like I said,
we'd be sad if they stopped making it.
I would. I hope that I have no problem with the Starfleet Academy thing. I hope it's good. I don't have any problem with it skewing younger.
I always hope it's going to be good. I always hope.
Yeah, because like I said, Lower Decks skews younger.
Yeah,
and it's very good. Yeah. So I don't. There's nothing about this that sounds bad. I like Robert Picardo. I'm glad he's the Doctor again, because I like the Doctor. It's a good character. So Tig Notaro, we both liked on
she was good.
Discovery. So there again, okay, they clearly recognize that character has potential. Paul Giamatti's always fun. I don't think he's going to yell at anybody that they're motherfucking Antichrist, but still,
I'll
watch him. Still good. I mean, and the idea of him being a half, what did I say he was? A half something, half Tellarite. Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know what that's going to look like, but okay.
What do the Tellarites look like? Hold on. I forgot.
I was just thinking that. I sort of remember hearing about them, but I remember them looking weird. That's Telluride. That's a town.
Oh, they're melty faces.
That's it.
These guys.
I remember seeing.
Oh man, they always look like hog people.
Yeah, because they were in. Yeah, that's them. Yeah, so okay. If I have to guess, he's gonna have a pretty face because they're not gonna make Paul Giamatti look ugly. He'll have a pretty face with a little bit of wrinkles on the ends and ridges on the top.
Oh no, I think he's gonna have a hoggy face and then like some Klingon.
Not much of one. No, I don't think so. Or maybe I don't know.
You know what?
God, you see the old masks they used? Though those are haunting.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
They're scary because they just have black eyes because of the holes. They look terrifying. But
there's a picture of him.
Of Giamatti?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that! I see him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He looks fine.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I don't know if that's.
I didn't see it at first.
I don't know if that's real.
Yeah, I don't know if that's official.
But he looks good like that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, who posted that?
Hold on. It's probably a mock-up. Because I don't think they've even started filming that yet. So.
Yeah, it was on.
Hold on. That's got to be a mock-up.
I'm thinking
it's a good one.
Be.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good.
He's a villain. No, it looks like it's official. He'll play Noose Braka, a new villain who's a hybrid of two alien races.
Interesting idea. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I like his ears.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't have any issue with it.
Yeah, man, the old masks are bad.
But they're scary because they're bad.
Yeah.
Because those eye holes are fucking with me. I do not like those black eye holes. I've realized that things that scare me are typically around the eyes. I tend to get frightened by eyes when they're glowing or weird or something.
Well,
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that I ever knew that about myself. But I find it.
Does this conclude our intro?
Well, I had nothing else unless you did.
I did.
An hour later. All right. So we're ready to move into the movie thing then? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, fucking here we go.
You shut the fuck up!
Thanks for killing my mom.
Hey, no problem.
See, white girls bore me.
You can eat shit and die, Colonel.
Just give me the essence of the thing, the juice, you know.
I wasn't expecting Rothrock.
Yeah, I know you weren't, but I figured that pairing would work really well.
Eat shit and die.
It's too bad she didn't say officer, because then it would have made more sense with the previous clip, but it's still, close enough.
We got a weird pack of movies tonight.
It's we are embracing the idea of diversity on this show, let me tell you, specifically in our immediate choices. Holy shit.
But there's such a weird bunch. I mean, yeah. None of these is tonight normal movies.
Do you want to go chronologically or do you want to go in a different
order?
No,
I think we should go chronologically, yeah.
Okay.
Why? Would you
No, I'm just asking. I didn't know
because we could go from, for some reason my brain says Battle Royale, No Retreat, then Eyes of Fire, because Eyes of Fire.
That's what my initial thought was too, because Eyes of Fire is the most interesting one.
It is, yeah. So then, yeah, we can do that. We'll start with Battle Royale.
Well, Battle Royale High School, or Battle Royal, because it does have an E, so I think it's supposed to be Royal.
So it's
Royal
High School. It's not Battle Royale where all the kids in the high school kill each other.
No, that's what you thought. And I'm like, no, it's not that. It's an animated thing, so I knew it wasn't that. I didn't know if it might have been based on it, but it is not. It is not. Battle Royal High School is a... How long was that? I can't remember how long the actual thing was. It was pretty short, wasn't it? Wasn't it like...
It's 59 minutes, I was gonna say it's an hour. 37 seconds.
Okay. So this is, and I did not know this, I had seen a clip from this, and it looked wild.
It is
wild. I think the clip I saw was one of the people exploding into a blobby, nonsensical something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything else about it, and I found it on Archive, as most anime can be found. Just a tip for everybody. You can find a lot of anime on Archive. But I'm going to link, somebody I found has a fairly nice 4K, although I don't really know if it's 4K, they're calling it that, but it's on YouTube as well. So YouTube is a little bit more user-friendly. Our Archives player can be a bit finicky for some browsers, so I'm going to link to the YouTube copy of it. Same thing. Doesn't really matter. but I did not know at the time that this is essentially an Akira type of adaptation for a manga that is apparently far more detailed. Originally, it was a 4-volume manga.
This is almost like a Cliff Notes, really, because it's an hour long.
Yes.
It's based on like a 30-volume anime or some shit like that. Like it's big.
Well, it's 4 volumes. It is how many pages?
Oh yeah, so you got 4 big volumes.
It ran for 3 years. So
yeah, and because it is so condensed and it moves so quickly, you get whiplash. I mean, at one point you were like, they're introducing a new character every like 60 seconds.
It seemed that way. Yeah.
A lot of shit happens very quickly, and you're sitting there going, what the fuck is going on here? And honestly, I found that to be kind of charming. The utter relentless chaos of it. Because there's a moment where you're like, "Oh, I get what's going on," and then it gets really enjoyable. But it's for a while there, it's just like boom, 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 and you're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck just happened?"
Well, there was a point when I knew I had to give up on this thing being. I don't want to say bad. It's the wrong word. When I gave up on it having a standard pacing, I guess, is because the movie starts out, or the anime starts out, and it's in a high school, and there's a fight happening between a teacher and a student who is wearing a panther mask.
A student who has just fought the entire group, and is now finishing with the teacher. Yeah.
Yes, and we see this red-haired girl, and she sees another girl that's her rival, who it was all happening so quick, I didn't even realize that was the same girl as later with the short hair. Because it was so rapid fire and I was trying to figure out what was going on that I didn't even put that together for almost the entire movie. So I thought there was now a 4th girl involved. I was just not lost in a way that bugged me, but just like for a while, there's a demon, Dark Lord, in another dimension, and we find out that he's got this woman who works for him and this little guy with a horned mask.
You know what? I actually think I've got the plot figured out in a pretty condensed fashion if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so interdimensional space lord discovers that is told that there is an adversary for him to fight, a challenge in our world. When he comes over, he's been tricked by one of his underlings, the Fairy Queen, and he becomes trapped in the body of his dimensional doppelganger. So he is inhabiting the mind and body, but not like he hasn't taken over. He is basically like a passenger. He can sometimes kick in, but only when that person is like unconscious to some degree, right? At which point the Queen is trying to set up a way to kill him. And then you get 2 other characters thrown in, which is a space cop, a space interdimensional cop.
Okay. Now I want to point out, this was the point where I gave up on the movie making traditional sense.
Yeah, okay.
There's literally, I think on the commentary, when it goes to the spaceship, I'm like, fuck you, we're going to space now?
Yeah,
and that's when I knew that all bets were off.
So now
it.
you've got this dimensional space-time cop who's noticed an anomaly and is trying to deal with it, and he can turn into essentially the Masked Rider. I mean, that's really what it is. And then, as well, there is a random demon hunter who travels around, I don't know, Earth, looking for demons to fuck up. He gets possessed by the Fairy Queen from the other dimension, and what you've got set up is a battle royale where you've got the Fairy Queen in the Demon Hunter, who's got to fight the Space Cop, and then you've got the Demon Lord in his high school doppelganger's body, waiting to see who wins so he can fight them. That's like a rough summary of the mayhem. And that does not include the massive amount of mayhem in this movie, because there's a showstopper of a sequence in this movie where a high schooler suddenly turns into a giant gooey like teeth trap. You know what scene I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, there's a part where the girl who was in love with him is hugging him, and then with the doppelganger, and then becomes a giant Venus flytrap face and destroys the body
Yeah.
And it's just out of nowhere because this girl has been kind of like bounced around and you think she's dead and then she seems to be alive. It's just fucking nuts. And then she's dead.
It's brutal. And it's brutal. Yeah. But the thing is, and then all of a sudden, like while the masked rider and the demon hunter are fighting outside, the doppelganger decides to put the girl back together. And there's this whole sequence of him like literally like putting her back together from all the pieces, like ripping them. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of interesting. This movie could have been a miniseries, but they were like, "Oh, we're not going to get a miniseries, so let's just make an hour-long episode." And it's just got so much going on that I mean, I almost liken this to the other animes that we've watched recently, which is the the hacker monk. The horny hacker monk.
Download Devil Circuit.
Yeah, and then the fucking one with the girl wants to fuck the robot.
Yeah, Dragon's Heaven.
Where they're all short and they're all like pretty like bam, 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 here's the story, we're done. Right? But this one is even more relentless than those because there is just so much. There is no downtime. There is a fuck ton of just one fight after another. They're all weird. It goes in all kinds of different directions. And I did enjoy the hell out of it. Like, I don't want to speak poorly of it. Is it crammed? Yes. Is it off the wall? Yes. But I did enjoy the shit out of this fucking movie. I mean, for an hour long, it really just, like, runs the gambit at speed.
Yeah, I think the benefit of the way that they do it is that there's no time for you to kind of... You don't have time to be bored. The only downside to it is I agree with you. I think it probably should have either been a half hour longer.
A half hour? It should have been like an hour longer just to make sense of shit.
Yeah, because I think the real issue with it, if we're going to talk about it objectively in terms of its storytelling, is it's not like exposition is good if it's done too long, but you could use a little bit. There could have been a framing device here and there where somebody stops and says, I have no idea, wait, what is happening? And it gets explained in an easy to understand way, or at least slower, because when the demon guy shows up, he's like, you're my DNA doppelganger. I should have known that my dark energy would manifest a positive version of myself, and I was going to destroy it, but now I'm going to use it because I think it's more interesting, and now we'll merge. And it's like, whoa, what? Oh, why? And it's just, now we're on to Space Guys. Yeah. Space Guy shows up, has a fucking lightsaber with lightsaber sounds. He's got a Gundam suit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's insanity.
Yeah.
And it's delightful.
The demon hunter has his like magic wooden sword that can cut through anything. And then there's all these demons that show up and get the shit kicked out of them. And yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing where like the demon hunter is just strolling the earth, apparently. Like like
Kane,
Kung Fu, The Legend
Fu,
Returns. Yeah, like Kane. And you're sitting there going, okay, but why? And there is no why. He just is.
Yeah.
And again, I don't need 20 minutes of his backstory, but you could have done something where somebody says, well, wait, why are you here? And he says, well, this is my job. This is what I do. I was created by the great forces of the mighty elk of the north to wander the earth and slay demons. And so wherever demons are, I am drawn to it like a moth to a flame.
But no.
And then he starts slicing people up.
You don't get any of that.
He's just like, demons, I'm here. Because of course
I'm
here.
And I feel bad because then he gets possessed by the fairy queen. And then, she uses him as basically her foil to fight with Space Cop.
And there again, the fairy queen at the end becomes this muscle-bound super Hulk for about 13 seconds.
Yeah, she looks good. And then he cuts her arms off. And then he cuts her arms off.
and also decapitates her, but she doesn't understand that for a second or two, which is a great death.
Magic, man. It's magic.
No, I have no complaints about it, but it's so quick.
Well, it's great because she knocks out the human host, at which point the interdimensional super god fighter guy is like, oh, you knocked out the host. Now you can't stop me from using my full of power.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatcha? Yeah. No arms and no legs. Yeah. Or no arms and no head.
There's an interesting idea there that I'm actually kind of curious, and I haven't had time to read about it, but I'm kind of curious if the manga gets into this idea that these two beings are tied together, and so they have kind of an uneasy sort of parasitic thing where, because it sounds like from the brief thing I read about the manga that the Dark Lord's energy creates the good warrior. So it's like a yin yang type of thing. And so they both have to exist. And so he can't kill the good one, nor can the good one kill him because they're tied into each other paradimensionally.
But that is never mentioned at all in this 1 hour.
No, but that's an interesting idea. Is this thing where kind of like I remember Rick Jones and Quasar, where if he was Captain Marvel, Rick Jones was in the negative zone,
yes.
And then vice versa if he hits the nega bands. Like that's a neat idea because they can't exist at the same time, nor can one die or the other dies. They have to kind of take turns a bit. The Hulk and Bruce Banner, same type of thing, where the Bruce Banner and the Hulk do not like each other. In fact, at times they absolutely hate each other. But then when they got separated, when the Hulkbusters separated them, they both started dying and realized they needed to be remerged. That the only way they worked was as one being because they were kind of two sides of a personality. And that's an interesting idea that this Dark Lord of another dimension has to like timeshare with the legendary super good warrior. So almost like they have to have mini armies and conflicts that they're sort of faking, but they know that they can never actually fight, but they have to keep it a secret from everybody because then everybody would just kill the two of them. So they have to keep lying to their own minions. Oh, I got so close. I had him on the ropes.
No.
And if those damn kids hadn't pulled the mask off, I would have been foiled.
It would be great, but
yes.
They just couldn't do it.
And then they just they just have to occasionally meet in this sort of this limbo zone and be like, God damn it, man. Have you figured out how we can live separately? No. I mean, I'd have to kill you, but still, it'd be better than this. Nope, we're stuck. Might as well have a beer while we're here. All right. And they just sit there and commiserate about the fact that they're stuck like this. That's a fun storytelling element. I would read that comic, and maybe it exists. Maybe that's what this is. I have to see if the manga is that.
And at the end, I think the Dark Lord, because he's destroyed the Fairy Queen, he gets to go back to his own dimension. So they do separate them, and everything gets reset. So, like, at the end, even the space cop has no idea what the hell he's doing there. Like, everything just gets reset at the end.
But because it got reset, it seems like this will happen again. Like, eventually this is going to happen
Well, they
again.
said that eventually the Dark Lord will return to try and take over
Right.
Earth.
So that's what I'm saying, is it seems like they're building towards what I'm talking about, which is a great idea. And, like, I think there is a brilliant concept in the idea of these two having to fake. Okay, they do actually want to kill each other, but they have to fake it because they can't kill each other.
I acknowledge that your version of events is very amusing, but it's just that's not there.
Well, maybe it is. We never are told that's not what's happening. We don't have time to think about it.
Is this your head? I mean, listen, you can have whatever head canon you want.
Yeah, it kind of is. That they eventually realize that this is a cycle. And rather than fail over and over, they just agree to fake it and let their subordinates believe, because why not? It doesn't hurt anything, and they have to kind of maintain the facade of it.
Let's see. What is
and
it
he
based
did
off of?
one created the other, so why not? I like it. It works for me.
It's
I don't know if that's true or not, but it's true now.
It's based off of a graphic novel called Manjinden.
Majinden, yeah, Legend of the Demons.
Legend of the
That's what
Demons.
I was looking at it too.
Yeah. And I'm just looking to see if
Space-Time Continuum Inspector Zangan. That's the space cop.
Oh yeah, here you go. So
after detecting demonic activity.
Ricky Hayodo is a high school karate prodigy who enjoys fighting challenges. At the same time, unbeknownst to him, he is the prophesized vessel of Lord Byodo, Demon King of the Dark Realm, who learns his dark energy is empowering Hyodo through a dimensional gate to produce a legendary warrior. Wanting to investigate this, Byodo travels to Earth and supernaturally freezes the school to challenge Hyodo. The boy defeats the demon spirit, but is easily submitted himself by Byodo, who reveals they are both the same being, and, suspecting the prophecy to be a trap, fuses them together in Hyodo's body to absorb his power. Hyodo believes the whole ordeal to be just a dream. Yes, that did happen. I mean, yeah.
It's pretty much it, but,
I mean, that's the first, 5 minutes of the fucking movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, how long is this? Is there any pages it is?
I didn't see that. I didn't see the... It was monthly. So it was monthly from 86 to 89. So 12 months in a year, 3 years, that would be 36 issues or so.
Yeah.
Or 36. I guess issues is the wrong thing. It'd be 36 installments. How many pages they were within originally released, what was it, in Shonen? Monthly Shonen Captain. So I don't know how many pages, so it depends on what you consider an issue. But it ran.
I mean, and listen, it looks really good. I mean, the animation is great, and the level of detail is fantastic, and there's some weird, gory shit that goes on in this.
I thought that was the manga. I'm trying to see if I can find the actual manga on Amazon. Okay, no, that's not it. Where's the actual set? Because this is all for the, what's the word for it? The animated thing. I'm trying to see, has anybody referenced the actual comic book?
Oh man, and it gets Clive Barker at times with some of this body horror.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does that. All right, here we go. It's all in Japanese. I can't read this.
Translate.
I can't read this. Is there a translate for that? Oh, here we go. English. Change language. Damn it. Here it is. Change language. No, that made it more Japanese. Make it English. I'm American. I can't read foreign languages or... Okay, wait. Show the United States. Hold on a minute. There's an easier way to do this. I'm just going to look up Battle Royal High School manga. I'm just going to search for that. Manga. There's so many goddamn manga sites. Somebody will have it. Here we go. Mangadex. Thank you, Mangadex. How many issues is it? Let's see. It is volume. I got the volume, but how many pages is it? Oh, the artwork's kind of neat. Wow, Mangadex doesn't say how many. It just has the volumes. It doesn't have page count. Hold on. Let's try Manga Wiki. Sure. Really? Nobody has this.
I got nothing.
All right, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, well, the final count, the final issue number is 119. Let's see how many pages it is.
Oh,
okay,
so
here
yeah,
it
it could be.
Well, hold on. I'm going to see.
Listen, it's definitely not a 59-minute movie. There's got to be fucking more of it.
No. Oh, all right. Hold on. It is 36 pages, more or less. So it's around 30 to 36 pages per
the whole thing. Oh, per issue.
Per number, and there's 119 of them. So
yes, there's got to be way more.
There's quite a few. Yeah, this is high. The wiki page says highly condensed. Now, see, one of these issues has 22 pages. So let's figure, as a median, let's say it's 100. Hold on, where's the all clear button? Where's all clear? Oh, yeah, there we go. 119 times 25. That's almost 3,000 pages.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, I mean, there you go. So maybe at some point I'll read the anime and see if...
Well, I'm curious. How many pages was Akira? Let's see.
Oh,
because
that's
that
a good comparison because they condensed that into a movie.
I know the rough size of that.
Tons of it out.
Oh, interesting. Akira's 120 chapters, so only one more chapter than this. So my guess is it's similar. Yeah, how many years did Akira run? Hold on. How many years did Akira run? Well, ran a lot longer, 8 years. So it's got to be smaller.
They condense it down to 59 minutes.
Let's see. How many pages? Akira manga.
Yeah. So
pages.
Either way, though, I, despite its flaws and its psychotic pace and its absurdity, I do think it's worth watching. I'm happy that I saw it. But I wouldn't suggest it to I don't know, beginner anime people or you kind of have to know you're in for some breakneck pace weird shit.
Well, okay, based on this, it is about the size of Akira. Akira is 6 volumes that are about 300 to 500 pages each. So if you go by the median, which would be 4, 6 times 4 is 2,400.
Yeah,
so it's
at
about
base,
that.
this should have been an extra 40 minutes longer.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
but either way, I still think it's
like I said, it's a blast. It's a blast because there's a certain point, like I said, once the space people showed up, I realized that there was no point in really trying to track this. It was more of all right, we're just going to have a good time now. So let's sit back and watch people turn into Venus flytraps. And that was great. And then people punched them.
Yeah.
and then reform them. And lightsabers.
Yeah, and you had like demons and magic and technology and like all this shit kind of coming up against each other, and it was great.
And jacked bodybuilder fairy princesses. It had it all.
Yeah. And you know what? Amazingly, there was like no creepy sex. Think about it. A movie like this, normally...
No, honestly, I was just thinking, you're right. Until the girl... Until the young girl is naked, which it does seem like it's high school, so that's a little tricky, but up until that point...
Yeah, but when she's naked, she's being put back together from death. No, it's not like it's a sexy moment.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm simply saying...
It doesn't think there's no creepy sex in this.
No.
There's no tentacles.
I didn't think
until
that happened, I didn't think there would even be nudity in the movie.
No. And even at the end, when the fairy queen turns into the jack, she is nude, but I mean, like, she's nude and she's about to rip a guy's head off. It's not like that's not sexy either. It's just impressive to get, there's no creepy sex in this. So I give them props.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
That was fun. Speaking of fun, we also watched a movie from 1987 titled No Retreat, No Surrender 2.
Or
a.k.a.
Karate Tiger
2.
Which honestly, Karate Tiger 2 fits this much better.
I mean, I like it. It's fine. This is a direct sequel to the first No Retreat, No Surrender, which is a Van Damme as a villain vehicle. So it's sort of interesting that this became the sequel to it, because I actually think this movie is better known than the first one, which is sort of odd. But the first movie is essentially it's nothing like this, really. It's more of a like Karate Kid type thing, where there's a character who's a huge Bruce Lee fan, and they move, and then apparently he trains with Bruce Lee's ghost. I don't even remember this movie. I remember the name. I don't ever remember seeing it. I probably did and don't remember it. But this movie, the one we watched, is more of a mix of, there's a little bit of Big Trouble in Little China, because there's an abducted fiance.
I'm going to say up front.
Sure.
I enjoyed this movie. When we were watching it, there were a few times where I actually got sucked in and I forgot to even talk to Joe about it. Joe was where the recorded. I watched a ton of movies like this growing up. These were exactly the type of movies I used to watch late at night. I feel like I've seen the essence of this movie many times, even though I haven't seen this one in particular. But I've seen these, and they always have, like, the rotating cast of B actors that you would see pop up in movies like this, right?
Yeah.
Where the acting wasn't great, but the action sequences had a lot of heart. They were well done. The fighters were good. So I got sucked into this movie. I did enjoy it. It is definitely a B movie. The lead's acting ability is not great, and the character he's playing is kind of a dipshit. But when that guy starts fucking kicking shit around the room, he is phenomenal to watch. Like, his fight sequences are great. I wish there were more of them. And then Cynthia Rothrock is in this, and Joe will point out that she is sadly underused. She is a third stringer in this movie. She is not even the secondary. She still has a few fight sequences, and she's still fun. She has most of the best lines in the movie, right?
Is that you I smell? Or crocodile shit?
I think that was the line. I think that was the line that I was like...
Good. Well, I accidentally got it.
I was like, I think that's the line of the movie right there. But otherwise, this is a genre of, like, these generic half martial arts, half kind of militaristic movies where somebody goes into another country because they have to go looking for somebody, bring somebody out, learn something, like Iron Eagles. He has to go in, he has to learn to fly, and then go in to find his dad, and there's a lot of movies like this, and if you grew up in like the late 80s, 90s, you saw a lot of these, you know? So for me, this movie is like a huge nostalgia trip. But then it's also very well done. Like I said, I got pulled in. And despite the subpar acting by most of the cast, and I don't remember his name now because we kept calling him Bron Solo, but the secondary character in this, who's playing a very Han Solo
Max
character.
Thayer? Isn't that the
Yeah, maybe
actor's
that's
name?
what we just kept calling him Bron Solo. He can act. He can't fight very well, but he can act. And what's funny is that his acting is good enough that like it makes their acting seem worse. And then when they start fighting, everybody else's fighting is so good it makes Bron Solo look bad. So there's kind of a funny imbalance to it. Anyway, that was I enjoyed this. I would suggest anybody who likes the genre of like B-movie action movies, especially from this era, I think they would enjoy it as well. That said, I will take it back to you.
Well, I said this in my short review. I'm going to say it again here. I have realized I have a problem now. And two problems.
Is this a Rothrock problem?
Well, that's one of them. One of them is that I get irritated by a poor use of a magnificent individual in terms of martial arts ability, which you and I agree. She and the other guy, Avedon, I think is his last name. I can't remember his first name. The guy who plays Scott Wilde or whatever.
Yeah,
the
dipshit.
Also, great fighter who does not have enough fight scenes. So, a bad use of Rothrock bothers me. And B...
And I'm not calling, to be very clear, I'm not calling the actor a dipshit. The character
the character's an idiot.
The character he's playing is a dipshit. He takes his girlfriend back to a sex hotel. I mean...
I understand why probably the Malaysian government was very, very happy to have this movie because it makes Americans look stupid. Specifically, the prominent American looks like a moron in this movie outside of his fighting ability and continues to look and act like an idiot. But my other thing beyond the Rothrock problem is I have now watched so many, and we've watched some of these together, so many martial arts movies where there's exceptional fighting throughout the movie.
Yeah.
That when it's lacking, it starts dragging for me.
Well, the pacing
gets thrown off.
And we both said this movie needed a couple more fights.
Right. So if I put those two things aside, if I shove them over for a minute and look at it outside of my own sphere of perception, it is a very entertaining action B movie that is splicing together elements of, like I said, Big Trouble in Little China, abducted fiance that has to be rescued at any cost. The Rambo, we're going to have a big assault and gear up thing. And the Vietnam kind of, the Shadow of Vietnam revenge film where we're seeing foreign adversaries who are ruthless. We have some Russians and communism and Soviet put in there with Matthias Hughes, who is a magnificent performance in every way, physically and speech-wise. He is great.
He is great. In fact, my favorite part of this movie is whenever Rothrock and him are together, it's some of the funniest dialogue in the movie. And their fight sequences are great because he's so big, and yet, she's a better fighter. And they somehow have to make it so that she isn't. So they had to almost give him like he looks superhuman, but they had to give him superhuman abilities to beat her. Where he throws her and you're like, he wouldn't throw her like that. She would have kicked his ass. But he's very good. He's very good. Go on.
Something that I forgot about that happens, and I don't know if you remember this early in the movie. Yeah. When the doofus first meets Rothrock, they're at a ring for kickboxing. Or whatever the word, if it's not called kickboxing, I don't know. But Malaysian fighting.
It's
and
kickboxing.
There's a point where she says to him, well, if you want a real challenge, you can fight me. And he's like, not now. And that sets up the idea that later they will fight. And these two would have been the perfect fight for the center of the movie would be the two of them for some reason coming to blows. Because there's an adversarial thing. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, I mean, they both have incredible legs in different ways in terms of.
But they're both highly leg use fighters.
Yes. Yeah. So there's this thing where when she shows up in the helicopter as their pilot, Mac, who is played by Max. So Mac who is the Hannibal / Han Solo, whatever of this thing.
Bron Solo.
He and they have a past where they were clearly together, and now they're acting like they hate each other. And what they try to do later is pay that off as well. They secretly were lusting for each other, but they do it terribly. That's one of the bad storytelling elements. They do not build that well at all.
I honestly thought that she was going to get involved with the dipshit.
So, right. So there's a part where they're adversarial. Like Mac keeps warning him about, we don't want her involved. And there's points where she's like, I don't want to go along with this plan. That's where the eat shit and die colonel line comes from, because the colonel, this Vietnamese colonel or the Malaysian colonel, I don't know what she was. I think it was Malaysian. I think the Malaysian colonel says, okay, I'll help you get your fiancée back, but I want her. And that's when she says this.
I want her for insurance.
Right. And she says,
You can eat shit and die, Colonel.
Which is a great line that I will use for many things. And I thought then she would try to leave, and then dipshit would try to stop her, and they would fight to the point where, he convinces her, because, that's a thing in movies, is the two good guys fighting until, they use their words to convince each other to be allies. It's very, very classic stuff. They could have done that, and then we would have had a great mid-sequence that once they resolved it, then the village explodes.
Yeah,
you could punctuate with the explosions. It never happens.
This is very much like Iron Angels, where they were like, we want to have a mix of martial arts and we want to have a mix of action. So they said, okay, well, we're going to have a martial arts fight here. Then we're going to have a big explosion fest over here. Then we're going to have a big gun and explosion fest here. And then we're going to have some martial arts with guns and other things. And then we're going to have a thriller moment where someone might fall into the crocodile pit. They tried to mix it. The thing is, we went into this wanting it to be a martial arts
Iron Angels. We wanted it to be Iron Angels, which did the mix correctly.
But it's not a martial arts movie. It's not, even though we want it to be, and therefore it feels like it's lacking fights. So,
and that's why I'm saying, if I put that aside, it's a very entertaining and fun film. I would absolutely recommend it to anybody who likes B movies. It's great.
It is not perfect, but it is definitely the nostalgia of the era of movies. Like
it's
I said,
a lot of fun.
It is.
It's a lot of fun.
I got sucked in. Like, if you hear the commentary on this at some point, I stopped talking because I actually got pulled into the movie. I remember young me up late watching movies like this. And it's outlandish. These two guys are going to get a whole bunch of explosives. They're going to take on the bad guys, and it's three of them against a whole fucking army, and they're going to find an ingenuitive way of doing it. And martial arts and this and that. It's like, that's great. Love these. But let's acknowledge the fact that the acting is poor. It's not done the best.
And again, to be objective, it is not one of Rothrock's better movies, and I don't know why, because I know she can do better.
No,
work
her acting.
She is not great in this for a lot of it.
Poor in this.
It's weird. It's weirdly bad. It's like she's being directed to be very shouty. She's not doing any nuance.
Maybe they wanted her to be more shrill.
I kind of think they were trying to make her kind of the nagging woman character. It's
you know
weird.
what? It's almost like so we just talked about Battle Royale. In Battle Royale, the main high school guy has this girl who's constantly ragging on him. And I couldn't tell if she wanted him or if she was she just wanted to basically tear him down.
Yeah.
Rothrock feels almost like they were channeling that character where they were like, we want you to be kind of shrill and shouty and clever, but mean-spirited to the leads,
Yeah.
But she isn't. Yeah. She's actually very nice to dipshit. She's fucking angry with Bron Solo. So,
well, that's the thing. This is another odd thing about the movie, which I wouldn't even call bad. It's just strange. Is Rothrock and dipshit have these weird one-liner inside jokes,
private jokes,
that they think are hysterical. But any objective audience member is going, "What? Why is this as funny to them as they think it is? This is not that funny."
What are they laughing about? Yeah,
right. It's odd.
You guys,
it's fine,
you guys need to get a room. Is really what it is.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't fall in love with someone else when you're on a mission to save your, fiance. Oh man, wouldn't that be a Cherry? Was it Cherry 3000 ending? Wouldn't it? Because at the end of Cherry 3000, he realizes he loves Melanie Griffith.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could do that.
Wouldn't it be great at the end of this movie? He was like, "No, Rothrock, I love you." And they run off together?
Well, he sort of, when she gets shot, he does lose his mind. So there is a little bit of that happening.
Well, yeah, and then he has his super fight with the...
his Stallone move. And he, gets pissed.
Yeah, I mean, and there's lots of dumb things in this movie for you to laugh your ass off. His fucking headband is like a little red string. Like...
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's like he tied a red shoelace around his forehead.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks exactly like that. It is strange.
Yeah, and listen, despite all this, when Dipshit, because I can never remember his name, when that guy starts fighting, he's amazing.
He's
like,
very
hands
good.
down, he is excellent. And the choreography, when they do have martial arts fights, they're fun. They're well done. You just wish that it was more martial arts and less shooty bang bang. I think is what it is.
And again, we have seen some really good examples of this type of thing. That in many cases, stuff that a lot of people probably haven't seen. So that's why I'm saying I have to kind of review this movie in two different ways. If I put aside how much I'm enmeshed in this stuff now, if I watch this without having seen things like Iron Angels and that type of thing, or Yes, Madam,
but you
I'd
still
be like,
had fun.
this is a blast.
Listen,
yeah, I still had fun, but I wouldn't notice the deficiencies as much as I do.
But here's the thing. When we watched it, you had fun. Your biggest issue with this movie while we were watching it was that Rothrock was underused, and then they killed her.
Well,
and then when they killed her, you were like...
terribly.
You were like, fuck this movie.
Yes, I did. On the track, you will hear me go, fuck this fucking movie. I was pissed.
I mean,
I was pissed because... There again, it's because I can imagine the better version, even of her.
Honestly,
death.
there should have been a love triangle. Dipshit should have had a romantic moment with Rothrock, right? And then Rothrock basically sacrificed her life to save him, and then he realized that Rothrock was dead, so he might as well be with the fiance.
Or
yeah,
you don't even necessarily need that, but she should have fought the lieutenant, which is what I thought was going to happen, the Scarface guy from Iron Angels.
Yeah, and since she shot him in the head.
And like she beats him, kills him, turns around, and then what's his face guns her down because she killed his lieutenant. I'm like, okay, that's an earned death. That's fine.
And if it was a straight martial arts movie, it would have had that, but it wasn't.
That's what it would have been.
They were trying a mix.
And that's what I mean about.
And honestly,
I
what
see
market,
deficiencies here that other people may not. So
what market were they trying to appeal to? Is this an American market movie?
I think this is a kind of pure action. Rip-off type of, not rip-off, but a B-movie action. I think that's what it is supposed to be. Let's see, where was it? It is considered American, right? Yeah, because it's United States and Hong Kong, because that's where it was filmed. The production company was Seasonal Film. God, it didn't make any money. Jeez. The production company did the first movie, so I think they were trying to follow it up by doing something with this. Whether it was supposed to be the same name or not, the fact that it's got Karate Tiger 2 makes me wonder if this was another, let's attach the original name to it and hope nobody notices type of thing. There's loose...
except for the fact that they wanted Jean-Claude Van Damme to come back.
Well, I think that he was going to be Matthias Hughes. He was going to be some version of that character.
Yeah.
So, production, here it is. Direct sequel to No Retreat, No Surrender, but safety concerns over filming in Cambodian jungles made Jean-Claude Van Damme back out of the project and convinced another star from the first movie to do the same.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the story and characters had to be changed, with the lead character from the first movie transformed into Scott Wilde. So in the first movie, the character is a Jeet Kune Do expert taught by the ghost of Bruce Lee, which is a fucking fantastic sentence for me to read out loud. Transformed into Scott Wilde, a Taekwondo expert played by Lauren Avedon. That's the name. Matthias Hughes was cast as the new Russian character. So this was originally going to...
A direct sequel.
Yeah. So, originally Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to do 3 movies. They were going to do 3 of these. And I guess the first one was such a miserable time that the 2 main leads backed out. The lead and the villain backed out. And so they did this. And so spiritually it is a sequel. But they've changed out the main characters. So... Wow. Matthias Hughes had no prior martial arts training.
Really?
So, he learned... No,
wow.
hold on. He learned from which character? One of the actors in the movie trained him.
Oh wow.
Let's see, which guy? Trying to see if I can figure out.
That is impressive. I mean, they definitely they play him up for his strength. But I mean,
it's the Iron Angels guy. It's the guy with the scar. The guy with the scar fucking trained him.
Funny.
That's awesome. That's great. Beautiful.
That's what I mean. There is a lot of stuff to like about this movie.
No, there is.
It just isn't handled. Listen, this goes back to the whole.
I have to separate my fandom. I can't be like one of those people. And that was what I said in my 5, and I'm saying it again, that if I take my fandom out of it...
And listen, and if you are a Rothrock fan, the outfit she shows up in the beginning of the movie is...
It's compelling.
Showstopper.
It's compelling.
Yeah. So...
It's worth watching just to see her in that.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate that's not what she wears the rest.
It's very unfortunate. I did say if she wore that outfit the whole movie, I would probably not even care if there was a story.
Yeah.
And I mean it.
But overall, yes. If you like these action movies, it's good. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know,
the worst case scenario is you'll be like me and wish there was more of the fighting, but you won't think it's bad. You'll just be like, I wish they'd done a couple
and when they start
scenes.
blowing shit up is hilarious. I mean, that's the thing. As long as you accept the fact that it is an action movie with some martial arts.
Yeah. No, that is
right.
Good.
I mean, listen. Some of the effects they do where they blow the legs off.
What? The grenade. I was just gonna say the grenade guy, where it's just a pair of legs flying in the air. That's
you
great.
see it fly off. I mean, that's very well done and fucking graphic.
It's great. Yes, yes. And there are funny moments. There are genuinely funny moments. The Mac character is very likable. They picked unfortunately, he does not wear his Hawaiian shirt the whole film, which I think was a mistake. I would have kept him in that shirt even in camo gear. He should have had that shirt on over it. But these are nitpicks on a movie that is largely very fun. So, and I believe the only problem with this movie is it's exceptionally hard to find a good copy of it. The copy that I found on Archive
there were moments
vanished.
Really?
I went to find it today and it's gone.
Oh, interesting. There are moments in this recording where like the footage gets real bad.
Well, and I think it's because it was probably off of a Laserdisc or a Blu-ray that did not have all the core elements. But the weird part is it is next to impossible to find a good copy. And the reason I suspect this was somebody must have uploaded a German Blu-ray is because the trailers that say Karate Tiger 2 are in German. So I think this is there is a lot of stuff that comes out in Germany first. Like my first copy of Voyage of the Rock Aliens was a German Blu-ray, and then they released an American one. And so I put the German one into one of those, those community library boxes where you could put books.
Yeah.
Somebody got a wacko fucking movie in that one if they grabbed that one because I put it in there. I'm like, enjoy, and I just put this thing in there with if somebody doesn't know what it is and just goes to watch it, they're not going to know what they're in for. Because I got the American one when they released that. Because it was they had remastered, I think, off of a 2K or something like that. So I think this has just not gotten an American release yet. My suspicion is there will be a box set of the 3 movies, probably from somebody like Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, whatever. I would guess that's in the making. Because normally when things like this are very hard to find, it means they're going to be coming out. So, unfortunately, I don't have a good link for this. That's the only problem. Is I got this one, I found it. Not even for us. Len has wanted to watch this movie for a while and could not find a good copy. And I said, well, give me a week or two and let me see what I can find. And I came across this version of it.
Well, hey, listen, it'll eventually be in our Patreon.
It will in 2027, I think. But yeah, it'll be there.
God, are we that far out?
I believe we are. Yeah, I think I'm in March of 2027 at this point. Well, remember, every one we do is the beginning and the end of the month, but we did 3 this week.
No, that's good. That's good because if I suddenly drop off, then we have a buffer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, our final movie here is not a B movie. It is genuinely a good movie that I never heard of. And I don't know where the fuck you found this.
Well, I saw the artwork on Shudder. It was in the folk horror section because, as I've said, I've been going through the folk horror stuff a lot in the last probably year and a half. because I'm always curious, as I thought this was a foreign
Oh,
film.
yeah.
It is not.
And
It is
I think
not.
I think I said at one point that this movie feels like something out of Hellboy.
Yeah, and it clearly is, because it was filmed in Missouri. It is an American film. It felt foreign because at one point you said, is this legend? Because we saw these kind of fairy people. And I said, well, if the air turns into glitter, it is, because it did not feel like an American horror film. It felt like a foreign horror film. But also because there was an alternate title. So the movie's title that you see in most places is Eyes of Fire. It's from 1983. But when we started watching it, the title that came up was Crying Blue Sky. And I went, oh, okay, this has got to be foreign, because foreign films often have different titles than the American ones. Normally, American producers and studios are like, well, that's too weird a title. Americans won't watch it. So I don't know what Crying Blue Sky fucking means. We'll do Eyes of Fire because that sounds scary. And so that's what I assumed happened here. That was my American producer voice, by the way. And so I just assumed, and the poster looks like a very nice, the one with the eyes looks like it's a foreign poster. It's a beautiful piece of artwork with this tree and these two demon eyes on either side, which, as it turns out, are the eyes of the witch from the film, which creeps me the fuck out. And so when it started, everybody has accents. So again, I thought, oh, okay, this is a foreign film. This is probably like an Irish or a Scottish or an English film.
But that's because colonial America was full of accented immigrants.
Well, I'm not a history person, so I don't know that. So I went by the fact that they had accents, meaning it was foreign. I'm not pretending I'm smart. I'm saying I was wrong. But based on the fact that it was slow moving and seemed very gothic.
Oh, you thought it was slow moving. You know, it slows down, but the beginning part of this movie takes off at a fucking clip.
Well, no, what I mean is the beginning, there's nothing supernatural happening, really. We don't really, it seems like a bunch of people, for being foreign, are being tormented by Americans. Now,
okay.
it moves, but...
No, I disagree, because very early on, this movie establishes that there is supernatural and somebody has abilities.
Yeah,
because...
Okay, yes, but what I'm saying is it accelerates in terms of shit going bad.
Oh,
once they get to the little abandoned village.
Yeah. And because...
in the beginning... She seems like she's actually a witch. The main character seems like she has some kind of psychokinetic ability.
And I thought she was going to be the problem early on in the movie. So did
I. And that's where I thought we were going to end up, is that she would start turning evil.
But the whole idea of this movie is that it's a group of basic colonists who leave a town with a preacher who
they're driven out.
Yeah, because they're with this.
They try to kill him and it doesn't work.
Who's been accused of adultery. And the preacher, he's because he has committed adultery, and he is saved by the witch in their group, who is a young redhead who doesn't speak much, who is a bit of a nutter, and so they essentially lock the townsfolk in a barn and steal the ferry, the actual ferry to cross one of the rivers, and take a bunch of supplies and try to get away. And when they try to get away, they are first chased by townsfolk. And then they are chased by essentially like raiders, like native raiders, and whatnot. And they eventually they hide in a valley where, basically they're told by, the tracker who eventually comes to help them, who's the husband, Dalton, who's the husband of the woman who is sleeping with the preacher. So he's the victim in this crime, right?
There's a little bit of intrigue going on here, and some
and tells them essentially
he comes for his daughter. He basically is like, I want my daughter back. You're not bringing my daughter with this lunatic. I'm getting her.
But they're being pursued by the natives, because especially since they've killed one of them now. So they hide in this valley where Dalton says that the natives won't go because there's something holy or mystic about this valley, right? So they go in thinking, okay, we'll hide here and then we'll get out. But when they get there, there's like a town. There's a little, almost like a little village colonial site, and the preacher, who's fucking nuts, is like, "Hey, God has left this for us. This is where we should have been," And that's it. You have through the whole movie, you've got the preacher side and the people who believe in the preacher being like, "God will provide, and this is all good, and we're great," and you got Dalton sitting there going, "No, this is suspicious. This is bad. And then the witch. I mean, the witch. She's the only person who knows what's going on from the very start. She just doesn't seem vocal enough to explain it to anybody. But from the moment they go into that valley, the witch knows exactly what's going on. There is some fucking dark forces. And what proceeds to happen is the dark forces systematically take this group apart. And they really want the children, right? But this is where the movie gets so creepy because they've got, I mean, these are simple effects and they're done really well. You've got these people covered in mud, very often seen just in silhouette. And these are people who've also been taken by what is essentially like a forest witch. And when they're taken, their faces appear on a tree. And she can use them as her minions. And she can change the weather. She can create wind. And she's most active at night. So at first she seems to kind of like investigate them to find out, what the deal is. And then you realize that this isn't the first colony that's been here. At which point, things start to get really weird, and people, like I said, she really wants the children. And when they resist her, things go from, bad to worse. And of course, Dalton desperately wants to get out with his daughter. The preacher thinks that God will provide, and the witch is just trying to keep the little girls safe, and becomes kind of the sort of backlog hero of the movie. Thoughts? Anything you'd like to add?
No, you've covered it fairly well, I think. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Listen, it's not as juicy as the way you would put it, but it was kind of, just a straightforward explanation.
No, but it really is that. And the thing that's interesting about it is that for a while, for a majority of the film, it is not always clear if the Leah character, Leia, whatever her name is, the witch, the good witch, it's not always clear whether she will be a heroic character. There are points where
she's
you don't
nuts.
know.
There's points where she's just nuts.
Not even so much. I wouldn't necessarily.
When she comes out of the water,
she acts off.
When she comes out of the water and scares Dalton, I was like, "Oh fuck, that scared me."
Yeah, well, I think for me, what I was wondering is she susceptible to being corrupted by the black magic of the woods?
Yeah,
that's what it felt like, that she was maybe not,
and
that her mind wasn't there enough that she couldn't easily turn evil, and I thought that might be where the movie was going.
How this turns is that essentially Dalton wants to get out with his daughter and one of the little girls because people are dying now. Like now things are going bad, and the witch discovers that the preacher, so she thought that she had been saved by the preacher when they basically burned her mother. What she doesn't realize is that the preacher is the person who burned her mother and then took her essentially as his prize to say to the mother, haha, I have your fucking daughter, right? And when the witch realizes that, if the movie finally comes to a head where she kind of disappears. And you're like, oh shit, she's abandoned them. But really what you realize is that she's almost gone into like, I don't know, I thought she went into some kind of deep magic mode where like she wasn't around them, but she was watching everything, because she is there for the penultimate moment. She is like I said, because Dalton gets taken by the witch, and the women are all trying to escape and they're being pursued and they're trying to keep the kids safe. And it is the witch, the good witch, who brings Dalton back from the other side, kind of like the girl in Poltergeist, who brings Dalton back from the other side. But because Dalton's kind of like between worlds at that point, he can also bring the bad witch over from the other side. Like he can like wrench her out. And what essentially happens is the good witch has Dalton strangle her until a little green frog comes out, and it is I guess it represents her power, and the good witch eats it. Now the thing is, I've read legend like this. None of this was like out of the ordinary to me necessarily. I understood exactly what was going on. And so when the
Unlike
Good Witch,
Battle Royale High School,
I know you're like,
this
what the
one
fuck's
is
going on?
far easier to understand.
Yeah, and when she takes her power, she becomes the Witch of the Valley. The Valley is now her fucking place. And she stops all the minions and she lets them all go and she becomes the Witch of the Woods. And one of the final shots of her is like, I'm going to give credit to this movie because there is some nudity, but it's never done in a, like, the folk who are trapped by the evil witch. When they show up, they are naked and they are covered in, like, gray mud and paint. And, like, there's never a sexual element. Like, they are always, like, I do find them quite effectively scary.
Yeah.
Like, not scary in a boo-ah way, but, like, there's a real creep factor to the way the director uses them. And so in the final shot, you see that the witch she's now, like, naked walking through the almost like a little meadow, and she's got these big fucking white wings. And it's this incredibly cool and also still creepy vision of her where she has become the White Witch of the Wood. And I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie. It is a bit of an indictment on religion because God doesn't come through. The White Witch does. But I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know who was going to live and who was going to die, or who was going to get brought back in that case. And it's got kind of an ambiguous ending in that the kids get put in a coffin and floated down the river to get away. So you don't ever know if the kids find their mothers again. And Dalton gets brought back from the other side. Yeah. So you don't really know if does Dalton stay with his adulterous wife? Do they ever find the kids? Like it's got kind of it's not a bummer ending because they don't get destroyed, but it's kind of a grim ending because you don't know if anybody finds anybody else.
Yeah, you sort of assume that they probably do.
You hope.
It doesn't feel like a negative ending, but you don't actually know.
Well, the fact that they survive is more than I thought was going to happen.
Yes.
Like I thought that it was going to be like two little kids and the witch. I mean, when Dalton gets taken by the evil witch, I was like, "Oh no, Dalton!" Because he's like the voice of reason through most of this movie. He's like, you know what he is? Dalton is like the pimp, Tony the pimp in the fucking movie Zombie Movie. Where everyone watches the movies gets taken over by the demon. Yeah.
Right.
He is like Tony the pimp in this, and he is always a voice of reason. He's always pretty logical. He just wants to get the fuck out. He's not taking away his bullshit. So when he gets taken by the evil witch, I was like, no, not Dalton. And the fact that the good witch then uses him as this like pry bar to get the evil witch out, I was like, oh man, that's great. It's like he's even in his loss, it is used to the advantage of the good witch. So it makes you want to watch another movie where somebody else goes into that valley. Where the good witch is.
Yeah, and where the good witch is and what happened.
Yeah, what happens, Yeah.
Now, I want to tell everybody that what I did not know when we watched it was the two titles are not just two titles because one was, say American, one wasn't. The two titles actually will tell you which version of the movie that you're watching. The version you want to watch is the one we watch, which is Crying Blue Sky. Because Eyes of Fire, if you watch the one with that title, has a tacked on bit to the ending that everybody agrees was a bad idea, including the director. Where after you see Leah in the forest with the wings, you then get this post thing where you see a French military commander who shows up where the kids are, and they're with this priest, and he shows up and he orders the kids to be taken away, and then one of the men, the guy he tells to take them away or whatever, is somehow possessed, and so some people by Leah. So some people are saying that means she turned evil. I don't know if that's really true. If she's just defending the forest.
And I don't interpret that at all. Leah was protecting the children.
I don't like that there's anything after her with the wings. I think that's a perfect.
No, I like the idea that she stays in the valley. That
yes,
is now her valley.
And that's why I'm saying, watch the one. You want to look for it saying "Crying Blue Sky." If it comes up with Eyes of Fire, then hit stop after Leah shows up with the wings, because I don't think there's anything you need after that. That's a perfect ending. That's it. So that's the one. It was the director's personal cut that they found on his 35 millimeter that they took.
No,
that's what he said.
It was a fantastic movie that was unexpected. Like it is folk horror, but it's not. At no point is it gratuitous. This is a very like reserved movie, if anything. Like it's got a very steady hand. And everybody in it is good. The only bad thing in this movie, there's only one bad thing. Do you know what it is?
There's only one bad thing in the
bad
film.
thing in
Let
this
me think
movie.
about this. One bad thing that happens, or something bad about it?
No, it's just there's only one bad thing in this movie.
There's one bad thing.
It's on somebody's face.
It's on somebody's face.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is.
All right. So there's a character that is clean shaven early in the movie, and then to depict time, they show him with a beard. Yeah. And it is a fucking awful beard. Yeah. It is such
bizarre.
It is such a fake bizarre. Beard. That's the one bad thing in this movie. That guy's beard. I mean, like, I know that they're trying to pass it off like, well, you know, the march of time, but like it looks so shit on him. It is not it is not right. And you can, and like every now there's a few like random close-ups of him, and you can kind of almost see like where it's kind of like glued on a little bit. Like, and this is not a B movie. Like this is a well done folk horror movie, and that's why the beard is so bad.
It's very obvious, especially on the part that's on his face to his ears. Because the first time you actually see it is from behind, and you can see that the hair is like clipped straight. It does not look like hair at all. Yeah. So I kind of thought, wait a minute, is there something on his face? And I didn't realize it was hair.
Is he wearing a fake beard in the movie?
And yeah, it is. It's a fake beard, and it's very bad.
But I mean, and the thing is, there are some very creepy moments in this movie when people get possessed.
Oh, the witch is great. The witch is terrifying at times.
Yeah, and
at one point she just goes into the ground, and her eyes are this bright yellow cat eye looking thing. Yeah, there's faces in the trees that I didn't even realize at first. I'm like, wow, that looks like it is a face. Holy shit! Yeah, it is. Like there's great stuff like that.
Yeah, and like when Dalton figures out that the face on the tree basically is what's taking the girl, and he cuts the tree down, and the girl comes back. Yeah. Like there's a lot of stuff like this throughout the movie that makes it a very interesting watch. They never spell it all out for you, but there's a lot in there that's insinuated, and you make the connections yourself. You know, and when and then eventually they they defeat the witch by taking her power.
Yeah,
and it's almost like
they don't just kill her; they just steal it from her.
Or is it a curse? You know, like, but yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, the actress who played Leah, I think she went on to do Dallas, but like she has she was very good in the role when she was aloof. Yeah, when she was aloof and kooky, she was all over the place. But when she'd get like defiant. She had
they also did a smart thing with her, which is in the real world, I'll call it. She doesn't really talk. She just makes noises. But then when somebody is psychically talking to her, or she connects to somebody, she talks like normal.
And she's very direct. And they give her an effect. They put an effect on the voice as well that makes it so dominant.
Yes, like and that's where you realize that she's not a lunatic. What she does is she functions in this magical state. And in the real world, she seems like she's defective, and she's not. She's just all in on the magic.
She's not fully in the real world. In fact, what's funny is that at one point the evil witch gives them a girl, and the preacher's like, "Oh, the natives have given us a child as a gift," and so he takes the child in, and of course, you the viewer are watching this going, "That's not good, that's bad." And Leah immediately looks at the child and is like, "No." And that child then tries to steal the other children. And it's Leah that she ends up being the protector of this group, whether they realize it or not, for a while. until the preacher finally, basically says, "I burned your mom and took you just to piss her off." That Leah's like, "Okay, fuck you too. I'm gonna go do my own thing." But I like that she
Thanks for
doesn't.
killing my mom.
Hey, no problem.
But I like that she doesn't abandon the kids. That throughout the whole movie, like her character is consistent. She
No,
and she
in
only
fact, the little girl narrating it says she always protected us. They're very clear about that.
Yeah.
And before I forget,
200 hours later.
So I think it's a great folk horror movie. It felt like something right out of Hellboy. I think you said that if Dalton had been played by Hellboy, it would have worked perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. If Hellboy was the Dalton character, you would have to change almost nothing except that he had a daughter.
Except the adultery. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there would be no romantic part. But if he in other words, you know how you do it without having to change a thing. Dalton hired him, or asked him to go get the daughter. That's how you change it.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah.
Dalton knows somebody in the
if you want
BPRD and asked him to go look into
if somebody wants to make a sleeper Hellboy movie.
Yeah,
but this is almost a story that somebody tells somebody in the Hellboy books or like in the BPRD books.
You said this is like a Mike Mignola side story, and it absolutely is.
So I enjoyed it a lot. I'm amazed and surprised that you found it, and that it was out there, and I never heard of it. I mean, did this director do anything else?
Avery Krauts. Let's take a look. No, 3 things total. Eyes of Fire, The Invisible Kid, Sister Island. 83, 88, 96, and that was it. But award-winning director and photographer wrote and directed each one? Did he write and direct each one? Hold on. Let's see. Write, direct.
Oh, man. This was his first movie.
It looks like his only interest was in things he could write and direct because he did all 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You should read these other ones, too. He did a movie called The Invisible Kid.
That's what I said.
A nerdy teenage scientist discovers a formula for invisibility and uses it to take revenge on all those who have wronged him and also to spy on the girls' shower room.
Excellent.
He directed and wrote this.
Yeah.
Oh,
all the movies he did were written and directed by him.
God, this is very different.
Well.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, that was his first movie. That's crazy,
isn't it?
So his sister
photographer though, so that tells you something.
He also
had
did.
an eye for it.
Is this also a horror movie? This is the one, Sister Island. After her, its original title was Cries of Silence. After a hurricane wreaks havoc on Sister Island, Mississippi, rescue parties find a young girl on the shore. The girl is alive and soon opens her eyes, but she is non-responsive. Dory takes her to her mother's home and goes back to the island to look for family. Although there were only 30 people on the island, none of the survivors claim to know her. Weeks go by, and while Camille begins to show signs of consciousness, she remains mute. Dory redoubles her efforts to find her family. She soon finds that she will battle the state, people she trusted, and those who lived on Sister Island. It'll be a long, twisting road filled with heartbreak for both Camille and Dory. Completely different movie.
Wow.
Yeah, these are 3 completely different movies. Because Invisible Kid almost sounds like almost like a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, this was his first movie. Holy shit.
Which he apparently did. He wrote, directed, edited it. Apparently had to sell it. And this was a passion project because the photo market at the time was not doing well. So he tried to figure out where he could use his skills as a photographer to make something that would be saleable, and that was this.
Yeah, I love this. One of the reviews basically says a horrifying film for such a low budget. Did it have a really low budget?
It's very simple.
I didn't at no point other than the beard. At no point beyond the beard did I look at this movie.
That's the only giveaway. You're right.
And say this movie looks cheap. He used a lot of interesting photo tricks to create illusions of mysticism.
I'll tell you what, the budget is supposedly around $2.6 million. It made 12, so this was a success. This movie did well. That's amazing.
Well, I've never seen, other than the fact that there were moments in there where I thought it looked like Legend, and that's because there's this mystical forest aspect to it. Other than that, I haven't seen a movie that looks like this. I mean, I've read Hellboy, but I haven't seen a movie that looks like this.
So interestingly, well, we maybe at some point we'll watch that other Hellboy movie, but so the film was originally screened with a 108-minute runtime, what we saw, with the title Crying Blue Sky. After seeing the film with an audience, the director decided to make significant cuts, removing 22 minutes. So we saw the longer version.
Whoa!
Releasing the film under the title Eyes of Fire with an 86-minute runtime, explaining that he had to, quote, cut it down to something that didn't necessarily make much sense, adding that there are some people who really love the longer version, but there was money that had to be made, so I did what needed to be done.
They cut 22 minutes out of this?
Yeah, so he said it really didn't make sense. But there was characterization missing, the opening and closing. Apparently the opening was different too. I don't know how, but...
Holy shit.
But everybody at this point now agrees the longer version is better. So that's it. I wonder what the opening... How is the opening different? I wonder if it says here. Let me look. That's my curiosity is, okay, what's different? Is the opening shorter? It must be. Here we go. Alternate versions. The original director's cut. Much more dialogue. The original title. Yeah. There's no subtitle. Oh, about the children being in the hands of French soldiers, which we never saw any of that because they cut it all out. During the attack. Yeah, okay, we saw that part. After they escaped, the execution. Lee seems there's no visions of the young girl's demonic. There's a baptism scene. The baptism's missing.
Oh, yeah, where he baptizes the demon child.
Yeah, the goat giving birth that's claiming God's proof, that's missing. The thing where he nearly shoots the women and doesn't is missing. Wow, yeah. And the whole thing with her being a fairy is gone. Apparently, that's all gone.
Yeah, the director's cut shows more of Smith, Smith is the preacher, his descent into madness and evil as he tries to kill Leah after the cow is killed, only for her to vanish while his back is turned, and then blame her for leading them into the valley. Yeah, that's an important fucking sequence.
It really is. Yeah. Boy, yeah, I'm glad we didn't accidentally watch the short one because I don't know that we would have had such a positive opinion.
Oh, and he designed the poster as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, he's the photographer. I'm not sure. That poster with the eyes is the far superior poster to the one that just shows the girl in the cloak. Because I mean, it's fine, but that's very standard. Whereas the one with the eyes that's what made me look at it. I saw that and I was interested. So that's the point of good graphic design is get you to look at it, and I did. So I'm glad.
Oh my God!
Unintentionally, we watched the right one.
Here's a weird detail for you.
Yeah.
Former UK Prime Minister David Cameron has stated that this is his favorite film from the 80s.
Oh.
That's...
If I had seen this at the right time, it probably would have really stuck with me. I could see this. You know how... Okay, perfect example. Poltergeist. The Toby Hooper film. Now, I've rewatched that film a few times. It's fine. I don't really love it.
The one with the little girl.
Yeah, the one with the little girl. It's fine.
Yeah.
But the scene where the guy pulls his face apart over the mirror is seared into my memory.
You know what?
In a similar way, the clown scares the shit out of my wife. That clown coming to life. She hates any dolls of clowns because of that.
That's the one with the rope, right? Where they start pulling the rope and the rope is
yes,
all
and that skull thing comes out and the tree eats the kid, which I also was kind of frightened by. I remember I didn't like having trees near my windows.
The tree was very scary. I remember that. Yeah, it
was because it just comes through and grabs him. But really, the guy pulling his face apart and then he's like and his skull is screaming, and then he realizes it's all. That is the thing I remember. If I'd seen this, the witch probably would have stayed with me, kind of like the woman getting turned into the robot in Superman 3, which always frightens me still. I don't like that woman getting turned into a robot. When she opens her eyes and they're silver, it fucks with me now. I don't like it. So if I'd seen this, on HBO, when I was 12 or 13, that witch probably would have stuck with me permanently because of the eyes. So I can see why somebody would watch this and be like, this, because it is really good. But also that witch and some of the fairy character, the mud people, those are really well done because you don't get a real clear look at them for most of the movie. And even when you do, like you said, they're just nude people with mud on them. But that's what makes it frightening. There's nothing overtly scary. They're just there. And then they're not. And they're running around. And they're not really doing anything. They're just kind of fucking around. And that's worse.
They want to take people is really what it is.
Yeah, but for a while, they're just kind of like, ha ha, and they're just running around to freak you out.
They're just
kind
playing
of
with
in
them,
silhouette.
Yeah. And then they rip the cow apart after trying to drink its milk. That part is pretty funny.
Yeah. And then the cow, which is probably a real cow's head, cries blood because it looks very real.
Yeah.
I would suspect that's a real cow's head. Based on the fact that this was not a tremendously high budgeted film, I'm doubting that they actually built a cow head. I'm thinking they went to a slaughterhouse and said, give us a head.
For that budget, his first movie, he wrote and directed it. Dude, fantastic.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a shame that he didn't go on to make more movies like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, all the 3 films are all films that were written and directed. Some people, they want total control.
Yeah.
So maybe for this individual, this was, if I don't have total control,
I don't want to do it.
And I don't know that the other 3 films made as much money as this. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. So maybe this was the big success, and then the other 2 were less. I mean, The Invisible Kid doesn't sound like it's aged all that well, maybe. I don't know that. But, so maybe it was a thing where he's like, all right, well, I got my one, I'm getting out. So, whatever the case, well worth watching. I think of the 3, this is the one I would most strongly recommend in terms of, I mean, Battle Royale High School is fun. It's fun, but it's very, very kinetically, frenetically confusing at times. No Retreat, No Surrender 2, that's a certain type of audience, which is largely
fucking
kind
junk
of like
food,
us.
man. That movie is just junk
it
food
is.
in the 90s.
Whereas Eyes of Fire, or more specifically Crying Blue Sky, that is a well-made, very powerful film because I can't think of much else like it, and it works. It has a very specific feel. The Leah casting is excellently done. The way the effects are done, for again a relatively small budget, it ends well. The version we saw ends perfectly. Beautiful ending. So, that's the one of the 3. If you're only going to see one of these, that's the one to see. However, they're all worth watching in their various ways. So,
yes. Yeah. And in fact, and our order that we described, I think, is kind of the order of enjoyment, which is Battle Royale.
Ascending quality. Yeah.
So, but
so
no,
we've been very fortunate. All the movies we've watched so far, I mean, there's no bad ones so far of any of them.
Eyes of Fire, Crying Blue Sky. Crying Blue Sky is the version to see, but that is a great, like, horror art film. Like, it's a work of art, and I don't mean that like, oh, it's an art film. Like, it's a work of art.
Yeah.
It's very well done. I haven't seen anything like it in a long time. I think that what's funny is I think movies like for a while they were trying to figure out a way that they could do like almost like horror westerns, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it really done well. This is not a western because it's more of a.
It's close though.
It's colonial. They list it as a western, but it's a colonial period folk horror movie. But this is probably the best I've seen the attempt of the genre.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I would definitely recommend watching the longer version.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
If you're going to watch it, watch the longer version.
Yeah, don't take 20 minutes
like
out
I
of
said,
this.
the title will tell you. If it says Crying Blue Sky, that's the one you want to watch. If it says Eyes of Fire, you're going to be missing a lot. And apparently it's more confusing, which, if they took that much out, that's a hell of a chunk of story to take out. It really is.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I am really glad that we accidentally watched the correct version. We probably still would have liked it because I feel like the imagery probably still would have been good.
Yeah, it's just it would have been more like Battle Royale or High School where we're sitting there going, what's going on? What's that?
And the ending would not have stuck with me certainly.
Yeah.
Because apparently that whole thing with her with the wings is gone. It's just missing.
Well, they took it out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that's missing?
That
and
imagery
instead,
of her at the end in the woods.
Yes.
I'm like, holy crap!
No. Instead, the ending to show you she's still there is you see her like possess a soldier, and that's it. That's how you know she's still there. That's missing, and I'm like, that's missing? Yeah, forget it. You got to have that. So, but all worth seeing, and the nice part is, we've done this a couple times now. There's sort of something for everybody. Because we got an anime pick, we've got a B-movie action pick, and we've got a horror pick. I mean, it's not brutal horror. It's not Friday the 13th type. but it is a horror, creepy film. So there's kind of something for everybody, which is nice. I don't plan these things, everybody. I wish I could tell you we do, but we're spinning a random wheel.
Yeah.
With equal weight on all the films. Lando's picking them, not me.
Yeah.
I load the thing up, but he's actually selecting them.
In fact, yeah, what is it? Because I remember one of them, I spun it and I got No Retreat, No Surrender, and all I got from Joe was, no shit! And I was like, what do you know about this movie that I don't know?
Well, because the timing, the reason I even have it is because me and Len are going to watch it.
Yeah, so
and I've been trying to find a good copy, and I just found it.
I have a wheel, and I just spin it, and this is the shit that comes out, so.
Yeah. So accidentally, we have another nice selection for almost every type of. I mean, we don't have a comedy. I mean, Battle Royale High School is kind of a comedy.
No, Battle Royale is funny as hell.
Yes,
and you know what?
It's not trying to be a comedy.
So is No Retreat, No Surrender. Both of those movies are are funny at times. Whereas
there are two highly amusing films.
Eyes of Fire. It's not comedy. There are moments where you might chuckle, like when the old woman hits her head on the rock. No, what happens? She gets hit in the head.
She goes blind and
she
then
goes
gets her
blind.
sight back.
And then when she falls down and hits her head on a rock, so then she gets her sight back. That was pretty funny. But I mean, it doesn't. Yeah.
I'll say this for this movie. I think I'm going to watch this again with my wife. I think she would like it, and that's not something I
Crying Blue Sky
say. Yeah, I think she'll like it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think because of the ending. I think the ending will make it. The idea that Leah takes over.
The image of her with the white wings in the woods.
Yeah.
It just makes you want a whole other movie.
Yeah.
Like you want a movie where that character isn't the lead, where she's involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we talk about headcanon. My headcanon is that, the sequel to this is Hellboy basically being told that he needs assistance from the Witch of the Woods.
Sure.
And someone telling him this story in the book. And then him going to the Witch of the Wood and finding her, and her being this, mystic winged thing in the meadows.
You could easily make that sequel right now.
Yeah.
With somebody else cast as the witch. That looks similar. There's no reason you could not make that movie right now. There's nothing that says she has to age or anything. So, yeah. That's this. Unlike a lot of movies, that is a perfectly justified sequel to make. It would be very, very interesting to see.
I'd love to know if people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if they'd ever even fucking heard of it. Jesus Christ.
Or, as I always say, if somebody knows of I should say, I was given a suggestion as a movie that we might enjoy in a similar vein to The 13th Warrior. So I'm going to add that to the next wheel.
What movie?
Round. It's called Centurion.
Oh, I've seen it.
Is it good?
I
haven't seen it.
If it's the movie,
it's by the Doomsday guy. It's the Doomsday guy.
Hold on.
It's about Romans. Apparently, he was very specific. It had to be filmed accurately.
Hold on. Is this Fassbender?
Yeah, Fassbender's in it. Yeah.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen this. So I enjoyed it. Fassbender's really good. The interesting payoff of this movie is that they're just trying to get back to Roman territory. The Celts are like fucking basically heckling them the entire. So it's a group of soldiers, Roman soldiers, that are trying to get back from the Celtic line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what's really fascinating is that Fassbender's character is so changed by the event that I'm pretty sure that he basically can't go back. That I can't completely remember the ending, but essentially when he gets back, his own people don't recognize him. And he's kind of stuck in this.
This is like Fallout.
Yeah, he's stuck in this situation where the journey has taken such a
toll
this
is the ending of Fallout. That's
that
I
he
like
is
that
no
ending,
longer. So so it was enjoyable.
Do you know the ending of the first Fallout game? Do you know what that story is?
I had never played the first Fallout.
I'll do this very well. I've never
speed run. Go for
it. But this is a very brief thing. So you play as a character who lives in a vault, a normal vault where nothing fucked up was happening, but their water chip fails, so they can't purify their water. So they tell you that you and you alone can leave to try to find a water chip, or they're all going to die. That's the whole driving thing. And in the original version, there is a running timer, so it's very easy to lose. If you don't get back fast enough, everybody dies. And then even if you get to a certain point and do something, if you let the existence of the vault be known, the mutants find it and everybody dies. So it's very easy to fail until they patched it. But anyway, you go out, you do all these things, you find out about the Master and the mutants, and you defeat all that, and you basically get the water chip, you stop the Master's plan, saving basically the whole country and maybe the world. You come back, and the Overseer says to you, he's like, there is no way that we can possibly repay what you've done for us. You have saved everyone in here, but I can't let you come back in because you are now corrupted by the outside world. And all that you can do is corrupt everybody in here by the things you've seen. So you have to leave. And you are exiled. Your reward for doing all this stuff is that your people exile you because you have been changed by the journey. And the last thing is you wandering off into the wasteland. Exile.
Yeah. And that sounds about right.
Well, that's great because I love that ending.
So I think you might enjoy Centurion, but I would not put Centurion in the same category as 13th Warrior.
No. It wasn't said as if the quality level is the same, but it was something that was like, oh, it's similar. It's a group of people you're following. This group of warriors.
But it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's worth watching. So
listen, it'd be a change of pace for the movies that are on our wheel. So.
Well, it's certainly going to be a more modern one.
I love Fassbender. Fassbender is in a movie that I hate more than anything else, and he's still fucking good in it. So yeah. Fassbender is. No, I
said you can't go wrong with Fassbender, so I'm fine with that.
No, you can't. Yeah, I mean, even if the movie's bad, he's good.
Yeah.
So he is the movie. I mean, the movie is basically he is the lead.
Well, there's no complaints from me on that. He's a very beautiful man to watch anchor a movie. So
we'll have to add it to the wheel.
It will go on the next round. We're gonna do the same thing we've always done. We're gonna go through everything that's on the wheel now before we start adding anything else, or until we're down to like 2 or 3. We get down low, but I don't want to make it an infinite wheel. I like kind of having an idea of what might be coming.
Phase 1, phase 2. We're in phase 2.
Well, I am trying to somewhat vary what's in there, so there's a nice mix. If I just keep adding, it is possible we'll start kind of hitting the same types of things. So I'm trying to sort of randomly plan it, a bit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go.
And, on that note, everybody. Anyway, any of these movies are worth watching. You'll probably have a very good time. So whatever you choose to do with your weekend, have a good one, and we'll talk to you again next week. Visit OzoneNightmare.com to subscribe to new episodes, browse through our back catalog, or to find links to support the show. Follow @OzoneNightmare on Twitter for the latest episode postings and other show information. If 280 characters just isn't enough, you can always email us, theozonenightmare@gmail.com. The opening theme for the show is provided by Heartbeat Hero. The closing theme is provided by Ogre. Please visit and support these artists using the links in the show notes for each episode.